viewers. It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Welcome. Happy New Year. It's January the 2nd. It's remarkably close to the New Year. It's about as close to the New Year as the stream that I'm doing can realistically get. Because, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's like the world's slimmest possibility I might try to like stream on like New Year's Day under like really specific circumstances that have not come to pass. Um, Yes. Hello, welcome. It seems you have endured the holidays. I know for many it is not necessarily the idealist of times because, let's be honest, family can be hard. Family can be hard even if you get along with your family. If you don't get along with your family and have some reason to get together with your family, well, that's just like inherently challenging. So like yes, good work on everyone getting back to here. I was gratified to see some enthusiasm on the Discord for the stream to return. I hope that I do not disappoint. Today we will be playing the second of the two games selected by chat for the occasion known as Giftmas. Hang on, can I? Give me a second. Back. Sure. Pick it up again. Oh no, it wants me to hit it on the controller. Yeah. It's gonna be a little. I suspect this game is gonna push the streaming rig to its limit. We'll find out together though. There's music, but I've muted it because if I don't mute it, you will hear it nonstop, and I'd have to like adjust the settings anyway. So it just seemed easier to mute it. Such a shame about Chicken Please. I mean, I'd agree with that. But like, if we can be candid with one another, that game was not it. Like I understand to some extent the enthusiasm. It definitely had the noir aesthetic down. I was a little less sold personally on the like weirdly photorealistic chicken situation, but like I feel like we gave it a really earnest shot before I don't know. Truthfully, I just feel like that game was not clicking like for me at all. Like there's games where it's like I want like the gameplay to be less frustrating, but I'm sold on the story, or like the story is bad but the gameplay is fun, or like some other thing where like some elements are working and others aren't, but like there was like really nothing after like 3 hours and change that game was doing that I was like really interested in. And the pace was like extremely slow to the point that even if the story was its selling point, nothing of interest happened. Because my family was certainly crazy. Was smart enough not to be around my dad. My brother was not. Brother spent New Year with me, shell shocked after having spent Christmas with our dad. I mean, to be honest, both of your parents sound like quite a lot of a challenge, Neko. I feel like avoiding either one of them is probably best for mental health reasons, but I can understand that situation happening, and I am sorry that your brother had to go through that. Good on you for taking care of yourself, though, and also for taking care of your brother. You know, she says, I live with a Midwest family over the holidays fun times. Is that like a euphemism? There was a suspicious use of quotes that make it sound like that means something more specific than I think it means. So I guess I've never seen a game that accomplished literally nothing with that amount of dialogue. Well, I can forgive you for saying that because you weren't around for the Raincode times, but the fact that that game's narrative progression can be compared in any meaningful way to Raincode is not a compliment. That is true. Zachula had shared on the Discord that he had encountered an uninvited holiday visitor, which was a raccoon that had entered into his home. The working theory is that it found its way in through the dog door and then tried to hide behind some appliance. I don't remember what it was, and then a gentle application of gift wrapping paper tube had to be applied to nudge the raccoon back into the wilderness. Um, so I mean, that's a harrowing experience I would not be pleased with. I can understand why Zacho's life is forever changed by that. Um, Touched by a raccoon for all times. It has left a psychic impression on you. Um, oh, I see. Lots of food and bonding, but political opinions that were surprising. Well, we do live in bad times. It was the worst of times. It was the cursed of times, I think, is how it goes currently. I think that's where we do be at. But taking a step back, Zach, I am glad that you survived that encounter. I'll say that, and thank you, Sarah, for the 65-month resub. Hello, welcome. Good hat. Thank you. Recruit story is officially community lore now. I mean, I think it has also forever changed Zacula's standing in both the animal kingdom and the human realm. Anyone else have anything of particular interest to share about their holiday times? Keem points out that one of the runners up for Giftmas, the complex is on sale for $344. That is a good price. I'm probably not gonna remember that is happening. History says I've been a loner and lived alone most of my adult life. This past holiday was rough, more so than usual. I will say that I did enjoy the holiday break, but I would also say that this was probably the single most difficult Christmas experience of my time. There was just a lot more pressure than there needed to be, and well, there were some challenges that were always going to be challenging, and those didn't mitigate themselves as much as they could have been. Oh no, Grandma lost her partner, and your sister got pneumonia. That is a rough holiday, Sarah. I'm sorry to hear that. I will say I did mention on stream before the end of last year that my family would be gathered for my sister's birthday, and that she had wanted to go to Disney World, which we did do, and we had a genuinely insane sort of whirlwind day, traveling between three of the four major Disney parks that exist here in Florida, avoiding only Animal Kingdom on that day, which was then rectified the following weekend before my sister flew out of state again. So we did go to Magic Kingdom and then Hollywood Studios, which I will never not want to call MGM Studios because that was the partnership for an extremely long time in the 90s. And then ended the day at Epcot. And my sister has magic powers that apply within the Disney sphere that made it possible to do a remarkable number of things despite traveling between those three realms. We also, of course, watched lots and lots of Hallmark movies. Eventually, my mom and dad and I think got through all of the Hallmark and primary Hallmark competitor Christmas movies. I wouldn't say, I don't know that we hit any other like memishly bad movies to the degree of the ones I talked about last year. The mural and the $1.2 million probably my favorite of the nonsense for the season. It's true. It definitely was a year of many deaths for our community, and I think for many others. But like, I don't know. I mean, it's not like we had a specific source like COVID that sort of explains that. Just sort of like a just kind of a bad year, you know. Then it's like it's interesting. I know some people who've had specific like life events of import happen during the last year and like aren't willing to commit the hard write off to 2025, but like so many people, myself included, are like, nah, ready to be done with all that. Truly, truly ready to be done with that. Yeah. Oh, this it will probably both please and alarm you all collectively. There was much dessert, so much dessert. If you aren't on the Discord, I did share a photo of the follow up before the end of the year. I told you the story about how like Dairy Queen had like a buy an extremely large ice cream get one free situation, and I did make time to redeem that. And the second ice cream was a manageable serving size for a single human being, which was what was advertised. But as I explained at the time, the thing they told me to do is like, here is like a big empty cup. You bring this back to us, and we'll give you free ice cream. And I'm like, you don't intend to fill the big empty cup with ice cream, do you? And no, that was asked and answered. How much dessert? Boy, well, let's 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 recount, shall we? So, my mom got a couple of so the grocery stores here make this thing called a bar cake, which is just it's like literally like a rectangular prism of cake. It's nice because it's a cake, but it's also not huge. My mom got the flavor my sister wanted for her birthday, which was like a cookies and cream one, and got like two bar cakes because even that's like smaller than like the average small cake you can get. But that was meant to sort of last the week, assuming a lot of cake was wanted, which sometimes happens. Um, my mom also got like over a dozen donuts because there were four of us staying at the house, and donuts are one of my mom's favorite treats. And also, like, we had various functioning schedules, so it was nice to sort of just have some like breakfast adjacent baked goods to have around as an option. So we had a lot of donuts. We at some point, well, obviously at one point I went and I got my tiny ice cream from Dairy Queen. I had that at one point. Um, there was I got these really nice, just sort of like classic plain like fudge brownies from the grocery store. I think because she just saw them and they look good and they are good. Um, we At some point I got an alert from that bakery that we discovered during the December season when we were doing all the Christmassy things around town square. And they had a like 50 they had like a buy one get one free sale on sugar cookies, and I think just like a general like lesser sale on like other baked goods. So we got another couple of brownies from them because those brownies are really good and they last for a really long time. And we also got like, I think we ended up with like 10 cookies for the price of five, which is good. Um, Gosh, what else? I don't think that was everything. I mean, my mom, as you mentioned earlier in chat, made like a fresh batch of her own sugar cookies on New Year's Day. At one point, we ordered Subway sandwiches, and if you don't already know this about me, I am kind of obsessed with Subway cookies. And my mom was like, "You should get cookies." I was like, "We have lots of desserts," and she was like, "You should get cookies anyway." So I got those. And at least once I got another one of those apple pie milkshakes from uh, Arby's, which I talked about in December, which as of like 2 days ago they still had. I don't know if those things still exist. Uh, so I feel like I'm still forgetting stuff. And to be clear, like uh, I was not responsible for finishing any one of these in their entirety, except for some things that like I brought home with me and maybe we'll finish and maybe won't. We'll see how that goes. But the thing is that we had a lot of options. It's a family tradition dating back to when my mom like first met my dad's parents, in that they kept a lot of desserts around so that there were always like treats for people to share when they were entertaining guests. And it probably doesn't help matters that I will like always eat dessert and hate food. I honestly feel like I'm still not including everything, but because there is food interest expressed on the channel, there's a brief history of the desserts of Christmas break. I think it was Keen had asked, "You ever get the Dairy Queen ice cream cake or the ice cream cupcake things?" I still have not tried the cupcake things. I'm partially skeptical that those will have any like unique trait, because they just seem like they're made of really basic elements. Like I don't know if they'll feel like a Dairy Queen dessert. I feel like they may not stack favorably against other Dairy Queen desserts. We have gotten, I think we've gotten both sizes of uh, Dairy Queen ice cream cakes. The Blizzard cakes. I think they do other ice cream cakes. I'm not entirely sure if I've had one of those ever, but we've gotten the Blizzard cakes, which are the fancy ones that are literally just like the consistency and ingredients of a Blizzard, but formed into an entire ice cream cake that you can then cut up and serve multiple times. I mean, a cupcake is a cupcake is a cupcake. No, because these aren't cake. At least I don't think they're cake. There might be cake in the bottom of them. The Dairy Queen cupcakes are ice cream cupcakes. The top part is definitely ice cream. I'm not entirely sure what goes on at the bottom of those. I think Sarah said she went to Hershey and got lots of chocolates. I assume you mean you went. Well, I assume that when you went to Hershey, you also went to Hershey Park. Is that a correct assessment? Because says the big problem here has been the vast quantities of bread. Mom brought 40 croissants Christmas Eve. I'm only eating 3 croissants. There are so many croissants. And Demolition says 40 croissants. That's 4 tens of croissants, and that's terrible. That's true. That is true. Every part of that is true. But at the same time, croissants are great. I had a problem where like I think it was in California, like in at Ralph's in California, like the big grocery store chain. You could get like a lot of croissants for like dirt cheap, and they were like pretty good. They're not like the best croissants you've ever had, but they're pretty good, and you get them in like disgusting quantities. And I had them like one time, like I think I might have brought them to like a family gathering or something. And then like after that, I ended up with like a bunch of the leftovers, and I was like, I can't do this. Like if I ever buy like one of these, I'll just eat all the croissants and I'll die. Like it's just they give you too many croissants. It's not 40, but it's like a lot. So I used to live in Pennsylvania when I was growing up. We went to Hershey Park a few times. I don't know exactly how many. Being the youngest, there may have been multiple trips from before I was born. That sort of thing happens. I remember it being pretty fun, even though most or all of those trips predated my willingness to go on roller coasters. Um, they had, I don't know if they still have this. Instead of having like a traditional like amusement park sort of like height thing where there'd be like a like a measuring stick next to the ride, and it's like you have to be this tall to ride or whatever. um they like had increasing classifications of like Hershey products that told you like how like intense the ride was. And I don't remember how it worked, but it was I think it was something like Twizzler was super low, and like classic Hershey bar, and then like something else like Mr. Good bar, and then like Reese's was pretty intense. So like you could gauge how scary or intense the ride was based on uh like your personality profile of candy bar, I think. Oh god, Nicola says that somehow she's down to they're down to 10 croissants. I will say, I'll pull the veil back a little bit. We ended up buying donuts twice. There was a donut tragedy of sorts where the first set of donuts that my mom bought ended up going stale rather quickly because we had those donuts the morning that we went to Disney World for my sister's birthday, and it was just kind of a rush of everyone trying to like get ready so we could leave early enough to like beat traffic and get to the park at like roughly its opening time. And so like someone left the lid open. I legitimately don't know who. I'm not changing the names of the innocent to protect them or whatever. I don't know who did it. I didn't see it happen. But we got back and the box was open. And so, you know, like a whole day of air exposure to donuts doesn't do great things for them. And my mom like felt bad about it, but like from what I could tell, like those actually still all got eaten pretty quickly. There were only like a couple left over, like a few days down the road when I was like, I could go for another donut. And then later on, I was like, I'd kind of like for us to have some like fresh donuts for like the end of the week when there's still people here. So she like made another run to the donut man early one morning and got more donuts. And like all those donuts evaporated quickly. And the common denominator seems to be that my dad now lives off donuts. Like, I don't know when he ate them because I never saw it happen. But like, I think maybe it's like the Santa Claus thing where like he embarked in some contract and became the donut man. I think that would answer some of my questions about the mysteries of what he does with some of his time post retirement. Um, Thinking about a summer trip to Hershey if we could get everyone. I mean, that'd be interesting. I like to picture the donut man being a man with a donut shaped torso. I think that's Randy of Randy's Donuts from primarily California. I don't know if Randy's Donuts exists other places, but Randy's Donuts is good. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, what the fun? Here's the funny thing about the Donut Man, or I mean, really, the restaurant is just Donut Man. I've been there like a handful of times now, maybe like 6 times total, maybe personally. Like collectively, my family's been there more, not like a ton more. I think I'm still responsible for most of those trips, even with the ambitious double donut run that my mom pulled for the family last week. Um, but I have never seen a man working in Donut Man. Every employee that I've ever witnessed at Donut Man is a woman. Like I think there's like 3 generations of women running the donut place known as Donut Man. And I could easily believe that Donut Man was like opened by a man generations ago and it's a family business and for some like cosmically hilarious reason now the family is all women. But I still think that's a little funny. Just because it's not even like Donut Guy, it's Donut Man. Um Anyway, I don't know how I tricked myself into talking about just I have a bunch of them on the table in my house now. I'm not gonna bring them in here. I think everyone will be upset. It's too much to witness at once. But long story short, dessert is good. I hope you had some. I hope you will have some. Merry New Year. Oh, my mom saw a tall man work at the drive-thru. That's crazy. I've only seen like, I've seen like a woman who's probably like a little bit older than me by like a few years. I've seen like an elderly looking woman sort of mainly working the back where like the kitchen is. And then there's like a maybe like a college aged girl. And they're the only 3 employees I've ever seen at Donut Man. Do they have donuts in the bathroom? You know, it hasn't occurred to me to ask them if there is a bathroom accessible to the public. It's frankly pretty small in there. I would not assume that's the case. But like you can the donuts are portable. You can take them to the bathroom. Chess mind is not equipped to handle seeing so many donuts in one place. I only have 2 donuts left. When I left, I took like 2 of the remaining donuts and left 2 of the remaining donuts. I did take the last of the fancy sugar cookies, which I ate after dinner tonight, and I don't think I should have, but I did it anyway. I'm kind of excited to like exercise again. I was not really doing that over the break. I was really doing a lot of managing all forms of entertainment for everyone, excluding inside of Disney theme parks. Which like mainly is me like knowing what like streaming app all the things we're trying to watch are on, and then managing like skipping past commercials on Philo, which is like the cable alternative thing that I use. I feel like there was some other element to that. I think just like generally making recommendations. What exercise do you like? Walking. Really, mainly walking. I do try to do like sit ups or even occasionally like push ups if I can be bothered to. But like I have kind of struggled with that. Like I was like at a good pace of doing that consistently, like up through last summer until I got sick after my birthday. And then like my body like couldn't handle it, and it took me like long enough to get really back into exercising that it was like out of the habit of doing it, and it's just been much harder to do it since then. Jogging is for psychopaths. I mean, certainly I think like running is for people who I don't relate to on a human level. Try to do 3 miles a day walking. Hang on a second. I'm at like roughly, yeah, okay. So like for a while now, for most of last year I was trying to burn 1,000 calories a day, which is I don't know. I'm not gonna do the math, but like today I did like almost exactly 800 calories burned according to my fancy digital watch. And it says that that is 6.87 miles, which that's been like the amount of walking that I do the majority of most days. I sometimes do more. Like I said, for like most of last year, I was doing more, but like since maybe like mid-November, I toned it down a little bit to make sure I had like more time to be like doing stuff leading up to the holidays and things like that. Oh, that's true. I did have to. So I'm a big fan of the Twilight Zone marathon. It's a New Year's Eve slash New Year's Day tradition that I mean historically the Sci-Fi Channel has been running a marathon of the Twilight Zone over at least those 2 days for as long as I can remember. But the funny thing about the Sci-Fi Channel is it's like one of the singular most difficult cable channels to access without actually just having cable. I have no idea why. Um, so like even though I've found workarounds for basically every other thing that I could possibly want to do, Sci-Fi Channel's still an outlier. And previous years through Peacock, the NBC streaming app, because NBC is like the parent company of the Sci-Fi Channel, they would have like just sort of like a live feed of what you would see on Sci-Fi. You wouldn't be able to like skip commercials or pause it or anything like that, but you could at least watch it live as if you had the Sci-Fi Channel for like specifically the marathon, which was all I ever wanted. But this year they didn't do that, so I had to find like it was really stupid because like there was like a different cable channel that started doing a Twilight Zone marathon at like 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve, but like normally it's running like all day on New Year's Eve. That's what I'm used to. So I had to find like a different service that was running uh like a constant stream of Twilight Zone episodes that they just like happened to curate into like a marathon rather than just running straight through the episodes one after the other in sequence. So like I had to like find a brand new service, make an account, figure that out, and then at a certain point like that service started like repeating what it did earlier in the day, so we switched over to a second one. It was like the most confusing marathon of all time. uh Thank you for spotting my mom. A confetti cannon demolition. Apparently, she's proud of the amount of exercise I do, but really, it's just to offset cookies and blizzards. It doesn't do much more than that. Um, did the Did we ever find the "It's Christmas" song Sherry mentioned? No, it's not like we need a breakthrough. We need a new.
Did someone say birthday?
Sure, why not?
Ole!
Um, I think it's
President
genuinely
of the
not.
Japanese Knights at Laws branch, Tokiko Shigure.
We're just. You thought you might catch me at the start of the new year without having set up StreamerBot, but you are wrong. I got you this time. Yeah, first birthday command of the year. Congratulations on that, Zacula. Thank you for the 500 bits demolition. But yeah, so my sister thinks she's eager to find the It's Christmas song. uh, I think her enthusiasm pales in comparison to mine. But here's the thing: is I've already done some legwork to try and pin it down, and like none of them, like I've seen like 4 or 5 movies that have this song in them, which is curious enough in its own right that I have to assume that it's not something that was like composed for any particular channel or movie, but rather part of some like generic holiday like music licensing package of some kind. But none of those movies have individual music credits. So like even knowing the movie doesn't help. Like we need some kind of tool or breakthrough or interview or something. Like we need information that we don't have. Like it's not going to happen incidentally. You want to make your next year Twilight Zone marathon easier? Fandango is the complete series for $80. I mean, Paramount Plus has the entire Twilight Zone series. I think Amazon has like at least one season, and I think Netflix like occasionally has the entire series. I think it like fades in and out. But the problem is just like having the episodes, like then you have to like curate your own marathon, which is so much more work than even the thing I described. Maybe the music ID app's able to help you here. I severely doubt it. Because, like, again, I think I'm fairly certain what we're talking about here is like a corporate, like royalty free, like audio jungle type stuff. Like, I don't think like a popular music database is gonna be like Merriment at Season Time by individual and band. Like it's just like it's not important enough that it's going to be in that kind of system, most likely. Who has Hoodwinked? Because I've looked and I cannot find Hoodwinked. I want to say that Hoodwinked is a DreamWorks production, right? I want to say our best bet is Peacock, but I've like not. I haven't looked into that. No, I think I have. I've seen parts of Hoodwinked. They used to like air it on like Cartoon Network, and I've caught like parts of it before. Ocean says I scoured the entire Hallmark subreddit with no success. Well, okay, but like here's the problem. Like no movie that has ever played this mysterious song in question has ever played more than like at most I'd say like 12 lyrics, and like a bunch of them are just the guy saying it's Christmas. And that's the thing that makes it funny and desirable and that I want. Like I want access to this song. I'll pay for it. I want it. It's so stupid though. But the problem is that like the thing that's funny about it is how generic the lyrics are, but that makes it insanely difficult to try and pin it down, which isn't helped by the fact that it's not credited in any movie that's ever played it. It's not like a recognizable singer. Like there's just so many things working against being able to find it. Anyway, now that Haggis is here, I think we should play the game. It's funny that like no one seems remotely interested in playing the game, but like also like I'm not talking about anything interesting at all. Thank you for some gift subs in there as well, Demolition. Demolition, as always, just trying to like carry the entire income of the stream. So yeah, let's go back over here. Let's go back to music 100. It's my favorite skill check in all of Skyrim. And now we'll have the controller pick up. It's a video game stream. I know, it's so funny that everyone was excited for the stream to come back, and I don't think anyone cared that it was going to be the Séance of Blake Manor. Apparently Sarah was. Sarah is so excited for this game. I think I wishlisted it. Well, let's see about it together. Let's do new game. Let's start a new game. Dublin, Ireland, 1897. I'm covering it a little.
Mr. Ward!
We have to figure out what corner I live in because I don't know. Ting
I'll waste
ting.
no time, as there's none for wasting. I write from Blake Manor in Connemara.
So, guys, writing from inside the house,
Yesterday,
huh?
a guest went missing. A young woman named Evelyn Dean.
Photograph enclosed. It's implied there's a photograph of this lady. She looks like
Everyone
that.
here carries on as if nothing has happened. She has not left. Of that I am sure.
He's actually speaking really vaguely about this situation. Also, is she wearing a Simon
This
as a
envelope
necklace?
contains £200. Please,
That's
sir,
a really heavy
accept
envelope.
this money and come quick, for I fear she's not long for this world. A further £300 will be paid out.
£300. That's
I know
the weight
west
of
Ireland
100
might well
trees,
be
I
the
think.
far side of the world for its distance from you, but there's no one else to turn to.
Oh, hang on,
I
hype
hear
chest.
you are an honourable man,
What do we
a
get?
steadfast investigator, and, perhaps most importantly, godly.
We got, oh wow.
I pray for the girl that this is true.
Would it be possible to turn voice lines up or enable subtitles? Subtitles are on. Stylized intro sequence does not use regular subtitles. I cannot change any settings during that intro sequence. Trust me, I checked. In fact, I'm pretty sure I turned subtitles to large text, just for everyone, including myself. I just did not realize that all of the pseudo subtitles existed in the exact corner that the camera is, so some of that was being covered. Voice is very quiet. I mean, I could try turning it up, but here's what you'll need to understand. You can only increment the voice in 10% increments, which means that we may go to overpowering really quickly, and also cutscene is not always indicative of game experience. But like I can read you the letter because it's in my inventory. I know this. Okay, so click this. Day 1, Friday, October 29th. Wow, it's set like right at Halloween. What a coincidence. Lady looks like she keeps specimens of organs in jars, and I'm into that. I'm glad you clarified that, just to make sure that it wasn't like a negative. Okay, so the...
Dean.
All right. I don't think I can change... Yeah, I have to get through this before I can access the menu again, which is annoying.
Daughter of the slumlord, Rupert Dean. I wonder if my employer hired me because of my past with her father. Or maybe they don't know of her father's involvement in my brother's death. I suppose that too will become clear in time.
So, I mean, I already turned voice volume up more than I think I should. I'll put it to 80. So the flashing seems to mess with the webcam, so I'm going to try and, like, not have much of the sky in frame where I can do it. I mentioned in, like, the pre-stream chat that, like, I found something that makes OBS unhappy, and it is the lightning. And I can't turn it off, and it exists at all times. Maybe if we stay here a while, the weather will clear up. I know that's not true. I just know that's not true. So here's our tutorial. You can, I'm using controller because you're not going to catch me playing a 3D game on my mouse and keyboard. That's not, I'm an adventure gamer. I'm not an FPS player. Left shoulder button to run, right stick to crouch. You can change stuff in options. Hold A to proceed. That's how the tutorial works. I think I don't want to look at the fountain. I haven't tried this yet, but it looks like there are, like, time unit spends. So, like, the game doesn't appear to happen in real time, but doing stuff costs time and will advance time, and I have no idea how dangerous that is.
Hello? Is somebody there?
Do you see the somebody? Do you see Swiper the Fox? You thought that was Piper the Fox? It was a bunch of birds, you goof. I feel like that was a strong reaction from him. But then again, that person did become birds. Which is, like, really adjacent to being a vampire. Internal monologue isn't read out loud. I can't. I'm seeing things. The lateness of the hour and the long day of travel must have my nerves on edge. Still, perhaps I will ask. Ask who? You can check all the evidence you find in the records. The records contain a catalog of all the evidence Ward has gathered during his investigation. Some evidence can be examined or analyzed for further information. This game was not made in America. Catalog is spelled with a UE and analyzed with an S. You can examine your hiring letter, for example. This is why I know that I can look at the hiring letter. So the intro cutscene, for those of you who deemed it quiet, I'll waste no time, as there's none for wasting. I write from Blake Manor in Connemara. Yesterday, a guest went missing. A young woman named Evelyn Dean, photograph enclosed. Everyone here carries on as if nothing has happened, but her room's not been slept in, nor have any locals seen her off hotel grounds. She has not left, of that I'm sure. This envelope contains 200 pounds. Please, sir, accept this money and come quick. I fear she's not long for this world. A further 300 pounds will be paid out if you find her alive. I know the west of Ireland might well be the far side of the world for its distance from you, but there's no one else to turn to. I hear you're an honorable man, steadfast investigator, and perhaps most importantly, godly. XOXO Gossip Girl. So I haven't really done anything other than what you've seen, but I noticed that there's this funky statue and it seems cool and important. Are there any, like, collectibles back here? Just a spooky torch? Oh yeah, one other thing I've noticed. Which button is it? It's left trigger. Look, it's the eagle vision that my ancestors gave me. It highlights... What I think this does is it highlights things that have a time cost associated with them. Okay, so... Look at statue. Ooh, that's fun. Hey, actually... This is going to mess up the game for a second, but it's fine. I'm going to move me to the lower right corner. It feels like that might be less disruptive. Whoa. This is where I am for most games. I think the highest percentage of games like low right corner. But we moved it there for Chicken Police, and now it seems like this really only covers telling me what button to advance the text, so like this is probably fine. We'll find out later. Let me know. Internal monologue isn't read out loud. A bronze statue of a lady. It is not that old. A few years, perhaps. Right? I have to click... Okay. Dedication to Mary Blake, the Marquess's wife. Though taken from us too soon, she will live on in our hearts and lives through her kind and charitable deeds. I'm sorry, I got a research topic? What is this game? Hey, does anyone know what this game is? On the one hand, I know it's the Séance of Blake Manor. On the other hand, what is this game? So there's like a funky window over here that's like slightly ajar. It seems like a fun place to go. I don't know if it's like sneakily not a place I'm intended to go, or if it's exactly where I'm intended to go, but I want to go there. When interacting with a person or an object, you may have more than one action to choose from. Use right trigger to navigate between options. Hold to proceed. Climb to there. Ah, just a man.
Sir, this is a restricted area, and that is a window.
What's your point, though? I love the second I move to the lower right-hand corner, the game decides that's where the dialogue text goes. That's interesting. So I only read his first line. I do not know why you went to such lengths to break in here, but that hardly matters now. This event is not open to people lacking in decorum. You may take your bags and leave, sir. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Séance of Blake Manor. As a result of your actions, 0 of the people in the manor survived. There are 45 hours until the seance. I don't think I saved. I think I have to start the whole... Oh, there's an autosave. Thank goodness. It's like changing a light bulb in Disco Elysium. Maybe a little. I want to look at this barrel. Barrel of rusty-colored rainwater. There doesn't appear to be a command to drink it. I will say, while that is a funny interaction, and I think that's a valid thing to be upset about, is some idiot just like breaking in your window, it does concern me a little bit about how the game will handle the story and the player trying to have input. It feels like it may be trying to present itself as something with like different routes, but like may not be that. Delusion says, my first attempt at this, I intentionally wasted a full hour looking at everything and got a fail state. What, like you passed an hour without going inside and like the game was like, you missed your appointment or something? Law. Mr. Ward, I should check with the front desk for any information on Miss Dean's whereabouts. I mean, if they knew where Miss Dean was, I think I wouldn't be here, right? Time is of the essence. If you are to solve the mystery of Blake Manor, time advances when Ward interacts with objects and characters. You have until midnight tonight to resolve the mystery of Miss Dean's departure. That's not a lot of time, gang. That's very little time. You'll be free to further explore the manor in the coming days. But that's what I'm here to do, right? That's like my whole thing. That's like my entire thing, right? That's like the whole reason I came here, and I have to do it in an hour, and then there's game after that. I'm really... All I'll say about that, in earnest, is that that is unintuitive. That it does not seem obvious that I should have such a intense time limit to ostensibly do the whole thing I came here for. I think a lot less crimes get solved if you impose like hard time limits, like an hour, to solve them. There's nobody around. I could ring the reception bell or spend a moment taking in the place first. You may record your goals and progress in the mystery map. Oh, heck yeah. You have unlocked a mystery. You should investigate it. Uh-huh. Guys, is there any corner of the screen that is safe? Let's see, it says, I have arrived at the manor to confirm if Miss Dean was here. If no longer present, was the manner of her leaving cause for concern? I have found 1 piece of evidence. Have I? Each mystery contains evidence and leads. Evidence provides information for your investigation. Leads provide guidance and avenues of investigation. Okay. Selecting a connection reveals context for why 2 nodes are connected. Okay. Face cam at center of the screen. You're like, maybe top right, but like I feel like that may just as well be covering something else. It feels like there's no good place here. See, like now I'm definitely covering up that image, which is like a little annoying. So my lead is to check in, so I should like probably do that, huh? Hello? Oh, I made the mistake of doing anything on the computer. Hold on. Potential connection. Should ring the bell so I can speak to the manager. Okay, I sort of get what we're going for. It's one of those things where the game describes such a simple concept in such detail that it like stopped making sense. This is a lot more comic booky than I expected it to be. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just not the sense I got. Ooh, is this evidence? Newspapers. The local news, albeit an old issue. Some pages are missing. What remains are all positive stories. That's suspicious. Entertainment schedule. Ooh, manager's office, listen. Sounds like someone's on the other side. I bet it's a guy who would be mad if I went in his window. Probably. I'm gonna look at this Grand Seance note. The Grand Seance, a gathering of intellects interested in esoteric matters, regardless of sex, color, or creed. I don't think of matters as having sex, color, or creed. Join renowned mystic Carmela Mantovani as she leads us in the most advanced crossing of the veil as yet witnessed by mortal man. No wobbling tables, distant moans, or questionable planchettes here. Are we going back to the sex, color, and creed? Or particularly the sex? That's starting to sound a little like sex. See the spirit for yourself, and better yet, speak with it directly. What is going on here? Some attempt to talk with a ghost? Thanks for that stunning color commentary. Haggis says, I think he's specifically trying to evoke Mike Mignola's style, at least with the shading. Obviously his style is more Darkest Dungeon than this. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, it's definitely ghosts, right? So spooky. That cannot be possible. I have heard of seances before, but always the spirit speaks through a medium, a person, or an object. Surely all fraudulent and spiritually dubious. What on earth was Evelyn Dean doing here? Her father did not strike me as a spiritual man, nor one who would allow his child to stray so far from his sight that she could end up here of all places. Who is this woman? Do we have any reason... Like, the introductory note was kind of just like she was staying at this hotel. That doesn't necessarily mean she came here for the seance or is a weird heathen. I'm not sure that I'm in love with the fact that, like, reading things costs a time unit, but, like, a single time unit's probably not actually that bad. Makes me anxious, though. I guess I'll ring his bell.
Yes?
This guy loves me, even though that timeline is a different timeline. Zaka says, dude, that's what Warhammer rules are like. You read, like, the first sentence of a paragraph explaining a rule, and you're like, oh, I get it. And then you keep reading the paragraph, and you're like, I don't get it anymore. Yeah. It's just like, I understand what the concept of lead and evidence are, but when, like, the game explained it, I feel like I disassociated for a second. I was like, okay.
Hello, I'm Declan Ward. I telegrammed ahead.
So here's what I think the issue is with the voice volume. I'm not sure if you all are, like, fine with the current level. Hopefully you are. But, like, I think our, like, main, like, protagonist voice, he's delivering his lines in this sort of, like, uneven way that, like, as he speaks, he is not hitting, like, a consistent, like, volume range. So, like, if you set it for a particular thing, he's, like, wobbling all over the place. Is that Zacula? I think so. But I remember Zacula having, like, a skeleton behind his check-in desk at the hotel where he works. Either that, or I'm thinking about the devil in me, but I'm pretty sure that's Zacula's job.
I see. We did not receive your message, Mr. Ward. Our telegraph machine is broken.
Well, that sounds like your problem.
Regardless, I am Vincent Varley, the manager here. We are quite full at present, but we can fit you in.
Well, like, someone should tell this guy about the Can't Eat More. You know, from Futurama, when Fry's dating robot Lucy Liu. And he's like, sometimes I feel really full, and then I go to the bathroom, and then I can eat more. That, like, if they're full here, they should just go to the bathroom. And then, like, maybe have a refreshing donut afterwards. Or, like, during or whatever. Why does everyone have such unique accents? Because this game is set in Ireland in 1897.
I'll send words that her room should be prepared, and I'll show you to it as soon as is possible. It shall be no later than midnight. But first, we require our guests to sign in. if you would.
I already have so many logins and passwords to remember, and I added another one for that Twilight Zone marathon. Oh god, what a big heavy book. Telegraph machine being broken as evidence? Sure, why not? Psycho says this guy doesn't have his cool mustache, and also Dracula's suit is better than this. I assume that to be true. I know about the mustache, but I assume the suit thing is also true. Analysis mode, you can analyze people, documents, and certain items. Move the magnifying glass to hunt for observations. Guest sign-in times, a record of who arrived and departed and when. I noticed Miss Dean did not sign out. Miss Dean signed the registration book a few days ago. There's a lot of names here, all signed within the last week, more than I thought there'd be. Excluding myself and Miss Dean, there are 17 others staying in the hotel. Only one guest has signed in with an X, meaning this gathering has an unusually high literacy rate. It's not something I think about in, like, the late 19th century, but fair, I suppose. Person X and a father of Lorcan Sinote signed in after Miss Dean reportedly went missing. I guess I'll sign in.
I see you are busy for somewhere so remote, though it seems quiet around here.
The seance has brought a great many visitors, it's true. Most have retired early to be ready for the weekend ahead.
See, like, the manager of the hotel speaks with, like, a consistent volume, and it's, like, not super quiet. I feel like if we turned it up anymore, we'd have problems. Developers for this game are also Irish. I mean, that tracks. Like, setting the game in, like, historic Ireland is, like, a little unusual, but also definitely not made in America for reasons cited earlier.
Ah, yes, the, seance.
Heavy air quotes.
I noticed the Miss Dean's name signing in. Does that happen to be Evelyn Dean?
No, it's Jimmy Dean of the breakfast sausage sandwiches.
It is. Rather it was. I'm afraid she's not staying with us any longer. Were you hoping to meet her?
Yes, I'm desperately single.
I was. She's, left already?
I'm not sure which question is stranger, actually. Me, like, randomly asking about a specific woman, or him being like, did you hope to meet her? Like, what difference would it make to you either way?
She has, yes. Can I help with anything else?
Oh, hang on. I have dialogue options that, like, cost time money. Like it says, I recently learned that people from Newfoundland talk the way that they do. If you haven't heard it, look it up. Because they're all descendants of Irish immigrants. I don't think, like, I'm sure I've heard it before, but, like, it hasn't left a strong enough impression on me that I can recall it from memory. Just going to the B&B in the sky. Yeah, probably. You can engage in conversation with characters by discussing evidence from your records. Certain responses will reveal new information, exposing more about characters and their mysteries. Discussing topics will consume time. Select discuss evidence to ask Mr. Varley about Miss Dean. I guess I'll do that since it says to do that. Navigate to the people category to ask about Miss Dean. The people category. Discuss. I'm sorry, but did you say Miss Dean departed already? Yes, Tuesday night, perhaps Wednesday morning. Her letter said she had to leave on short notice. Letter? In truth, she took her luggage and left in the middle of the night. In the morning, we found only a letter and her payment at the front desk. Would that be usual for her? I could not say, sir. This was the first time she'd stayed here. Aska, what do we have to do to get you to read the dialogue in your best Irish accent? I can do, like, kind of a passable Irish accent, but, like, I make it a habit not to read main character dialogue in any voice that makes me uncomfortable, because I will have to do a lot of it. and it will make for unpleasant streams and untenable finishing of games. See, I'm a little torn here. That anxiety I mentioned before is like, as an adventure gamer, I want to ask about like everything, but I feel like I have to be conscious of time, and I'm not really sure how much I really need to get done in this in-game hour. I do kind of feel like I should ask him about the washerwoman, since the game made kind of a big deal about that. Ooh, and he's also the only person who can talk about the telegraph machine. Let's do that. The game got really confused because, like, the dialogue that I'm saying doesn't fit entirely on the screen, which is awkward. You mentioned the telegraph machine is down. It is. Likely the storm shorted the battery. Terrible timing. I tried to wire up the replacement, but I've had no luck. I'll have the groundsman look in the morning. Okay. The washerwoman. You will think me quite mad, Mr. Varley, but I saw a woman washing something in the fountain. I can assure you that our facility has a full laundry. Nothing is washed in the fountain. Perhaps you saw a bean knife? No, I don't think so. I don't think I saw what that is, because I don't know what that is, and it sounds like you made it up. I don't think I saw a bean knife. Like it says, I absolutely destroyed my voice streaming Shadowrun Hong Kong, because none of that game is voiced and actually could not finish that game. Yeah, I mean, I did not go into this game knowing how much reading there would be. It's looking like more than I might have expected, but like, it can take a decent amount out of you just to read for, like, consistently for, like, multiple hours on stream. But, like, if you are also, like, doing, like, strenuous voices, it will get, like, worse. It would be fitting for the time of year and the gathering here, though. Unfortunate for whoever's clothes were being washed. I don't think I have any other, like, real stuff to talk about. I mean, I guess, like, analyze? Okay, analyze is, like, study him. It's like, Duck Detective. Like, every time you meet a character in Duck Detective, you do this. Cracking glasses. They must be difficult to see through. The damage must be recent, or surely he'd have had them fixed. Unhappy expression. He looks profoundly displeased. Is it with me or something else? Hand on pocket watch. A pocket watch. A pocket watch. A pocket watch. A pocket watch. He keeps checking his pocket watch. He's either pressed for time or ruled by routine, or maybe both. All observations did. There are so many mysteries to discuss. Let's see.
I need nothing else, thank you.
What a profound way of saying that.
Then please wait here. The staff will prepare your room, and I'll be back to show you to it shortly. Now, if you will excuse me, with the telegraph machine broken, I have delivery orders to write for the morning. If you need me again, you know how to summon me.
Is that a glitch in the stream, or did you say pocket watch like 5 times? It was really important to me to emphasize the pocket watch. So Miss Dean was here but left. Her date of departure does line up with the letter I received. That does remind me, though. I'm pretty sure that Ditto had linked me to the thing that's from. I should find some application for that. It was good to see through... It would be good to see the letter she left behind. It seems my cutoff for investigating is midnight. I should get a move on. That continues to feel arbitrary. Like, I feel like the game is saying that, like, once I get my room, I will no longer be entitled to look around the hotel grounds, but, like, I don't actually know of a reason why that would be true. By exploring and interacting with items, you can progress the investigation. To see which objects you can interact with, hold down left trigger to enable detective vision, also known as that eagle vision my ancestors gave me. Private letter. Private letters. Private letter. I mean, look at these discs. What on earth could these be for? Could be that they're important. Maybe there's a clue to their use somewhere around here. Oh, okay, I just took a bunch of discs. Just took them right up. Paper from 3 years ago. The main story is the carriage accident that resulted in the death of the Marquess's wife. I'm gonna do a save. Can I enter these rooms? Interesting. Why would I want to place my luggage there? Oh, hang on. So you get little comic book TikTok over by the clock, and sometimes you get the fireplace a-poppin'. Where'd the guy go? Why are you allowed to just rifle around the front desk? Because he's like writing something by hand, he said, and so he had to leave. Telegraph room A. There's a faint smell of burnt paper in the air. The voltaic pile battery. I'm not sure that's like super immediately useful. There's nothing I can see from here that would be causing the burnt smell in the room. Oh man, that reminds me. So clearly when I was away from my house on New Year's Eve, someone fired off a firework that landed on my lawn while lit because there's like a scorched like circle on my front lawn that I don't love. Oh, hey, look. The donuts power the battery. Let me read this page. Seems somebody was trying to follow these instructions. A voltaic battery is built by stacking cells to reach the required voltage output. This diagram shows a voltaic battery with an output of 4 volts. The cell is made up of 2 discs called an anode and a cathode separated by an electrolyte bridge. What's the required output voltage? It's 6. The answer is 6. These burnt out discs are where the smell in the room is coming from. I'll remove them in case there's any risk of fire. Alright, let's give this a try. I can use these new discs to replace the old ones. I need to assemble a battery with the right voltage to power the telegraph machine. Just needs the right number of discs in the right order. So hang on. The example is for 4 volts. So each one of these stacks is 1 volt, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Front yard. I haven't found, like, the husk of the burnt-out firework that I just put in the trash to be taken out, but because of the holiday, it's not going to get picked up until tomorrow, I guess. Glad it didn't land on anything flammable or hurt anyone. I mean, the lawn is a little flammable. That could have gone worse. I will also let it be known that a gigantic branch fell off the tree in my front yard, and while I don't think it's likely that that correlates to the firework landing in my yard, since I didn't see it, I can't be certain that they didn't try to, like, directly hit the tree branch and cause something to happen. It just doesn't seem like it was a big enough firework to cause that to occur. However, I'm also not sure what else would have done that, because, like, we didn't have severe weather or anything. Copper disc. Bridge. Zinc. Copper disc. Bridge. Zinc. Copper disc. Bridge. Zinc. Copper disc. Bridge. Zinc. So that's 4, right? Copper disc. Bridge. Zinc. Copper disc. Bridge. Zinc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Test it. Bzz, bzz. Battery seems to be working and the telegraph machine now has a hum to it. I should tell the manager. Lead. Gain entry to the office. It's making a charming noise. I sort of like the idea. The second one, just because I'm not sure how important the time spent is. It's like it says, a branch fell off a tree in our backyard and damaged our neighbor's fence and she sued us. Ugh. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know. I've had a few people tell me that, like, maybe I should get the big front yard tree trimmed down. And the size of the branch that just fell clear off the tree this time is, like, the first time I've, like, really started thinking about it. Most of the tree doesn't overlap the house, but there's definitely part of it that could fall directly on the roof and be bad. I don't exactly know how I expect the legal standing of that situation to work out. What ended up happening in your case, Zacula? Did you end up having to settle? Did you fight it all the way through? Is that letter that she left in this desk? This is the staff's rota for the next few days. I've recorded their movements in my timetable, in case it proves useful. Ooh, are we doing Sexy Brutale? I should spend one time unit to close it, because if the guy comes out and sees it open, it will be obvious that I did that. Luggage, trunk. Several things I can't seem to open or care about. Right, I have eagle vision. I approached the vent and heard a noise. I didn't actually interact. Huh? No, I need this menu. You could say I've made some progress. Like it says, you cannot even conceive of truly dangerous behavior with truly dangerous fireworks unless you've lived in the Southwest U.S. near a reservation where they can sell you the big boy fireworks. Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of the ones I have seen evidence of around here are those. Although, if you watch Pluribus, I think they show some of those fireworks you're talking about. Actually, hang on a second. Go back one. I have 8 out of 11. Okay. Got that. The letter doesn't feel like it's going to lead to something else. So the game wants me to believe that getting into the manager's office will let me find the letter. So I should endeavor to do that. I'm gonna look at the vent, though. An ordinary vent, except there seems to be something stuck inside. The grate is fastened firmly to the wall, and I can't get it out. I'm not going to look in the luggage? Okay, I'm not going to spend time on those then. That sounds silly. How about the table, though? Look at the stationery. Everything I needed to pen a letter. Riveting gameplay. He says, okay, so what happened is there was a dead tree in our backyard and it started to become a falling hazard, so we hired a company to come out and cut down and remove it. In the process of doing that, a branch fell down and damaged her fence. She was like, pay for it, and we were like, okay, but it seems like the company we hired should pay for it since it happened on their watch. But then, funny enough, the company would not answer any calls or emails from anyone after they were done with the job. Boy, have I been there. So then the neighbors sued us for damages in small claims court. We argued to the court that the court should make the company pay us, but the court disagreed, and we had to give the dreadful hag $900. Ouch. Now, when you say it damaged her fence, did the tree branch fall directly onto, like, one corner of the fence and roll through it, like, bowling the entire thing over? That's a lot of damage for a fence. Or was the fence made of, like, gold? Click, clock. Click, clock. Click, clock. Cloakroom. This is a smaller room than I might have expected. Look at all these coats. Look at all these crates. I want to look in all the pockets. A lightly perfumed coat with a note in the pocket. Miss Dean, I would like to speak with you. Perhaps Saturday, the bar, 5 p.m. The note is addressed to Miss Dean, which makes me wonder if this is her coat. But then she is supposed to have left. Cheap coat for an expensive hotel. Coats left to dry. Do I really think I'll find something in the boots? Boots for use by the guests. They're average size boots. Larger ones and smaller ones. It's all types of boots. Box of salt used to absorb moisture from coats and boots kept here. St. Brigid's Cross? One of the staff putting these up around the manor?
May I be of service, Mr. Ward?
I would like to discuss with you the telegraph machine fixed.
Your telegraph machine seems to be functional.
Is that so? Mr. Hunter must have slipped in unnoticed and fixed it.
Sure.
Then you'll have to excuse me. I have messages to send ahead of tomorrow. I will be in the telegraph room should you need me. You shouldn't be waiting much longer for your room, I assure you. It will be ready by midnight at the latest.
Front desk guy's cheekbones are insane. Are you jealous, Zacula? Will you train to have those cheekbones? Is that a thing a human being can do? Character locations, points of interest, and rooms can be viewed on the map. Oh, left button map. This is the map. The yellow arrow indicates where Ward is. You can also see where other characters are. Characters will change position every hour, so be sure to keep an eye on the map. New areas will be added as the manor is explored. There's something about the way this information is presented that makes me really wary. Checking the entertainment schedule. I feel like I might need to add that to my copybook. Listing of all guest activities planned for this event. There's a masked ball tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. in the ballroom. On Sunday, there's a silent dinner at 8 p.m. Who's ever heard of such a thing? Sunday evening, the grand seance takes place in the hedge maze at 9 p.m. That's a choice? Talks held daily in the drawing room, located in the west corridor. Information on talks to be posted outside the room each morning. The rest of the week was, because it's leading up to today's Friday, I guess. Yeah, today's Friday. On Monday, we had a welcome luncheon. On Tuesday, Afternoon tea and lawn games, followed by bridge. From 1 to 5 on Wednesday was horse riding. But at 2 p.m. there were parlor games. On Thursday, 2 p.m. archery, elsewise cricket, and at 8 p.m. divination with Miss Mantovani. And on Friday, 11 a.m. carriage tour of land. Talks daily held in the drawing room, located in the west corridor. Information available posted outside. It says also, why and more importantly, how is it 11 p.m. and our room still isn't ready but will be soon? I actually can't think of a single set of circumstances that would lead to this situation. Well, I mean, he claims that he never got our telegraph ahead, so he started from scratch, but still, a whole hour for an available room does seem odd. The letter? Mr. Varley's mid-draft orders. He is requesting payments hold off until after this event is over. If I want to determine whether anything suspicious happened to Miss Dean before I retire for the night, I'm running out of time. Various letters from guests making requests to the hotel for the duration of their stay. Room rack. Buy me dinner first. I really don't think I'm just going to open that. Open desk though. That is requesting gramophone records for the rooms, respectively for the drawing room and bedroom of one Dr. Callaghan. Letter complaining about the housekeeper and her over-familiarity and curiosity. Oh dear. Open letter. Responds to Mr. Varley, who seems to have asked after a child on behalf of a young mother. The letter assures him the child is safe, but otherwise not forthcoming. Mail to be delivered in town. Nothing here but requests for supplies. Outdoor jacket. Nothing in the pocket. I'm concerned I'm not going to get that letter and I'm going to fail the game. Hat box? Dang it. There's a part of this game where we could talk to the GM and give him some pointers on basic hotel management. I think that's the end goal of the game. Staff roster, room rack, table. Ugh. Oh, hang on. Letter from a supplier requesting payment for goods delivered here for this event. Administrative files, nothing of value. Record of who is in which room. Useful information to have. There's something under it. I think this is Miss Dean's departure letter. On his desk? Strange. She must have been examining it when I arrived. It's signed. I wonder, does this match her signature in the sign-in book? Are there any differences between these signatures? Oh boy, is this one of these games? Signatures are close, but they don't match. Somebody else wrote this letter of hers, but who and why? Gather enough evidence to craft a hypothesis. Evidence provides keywords for each hypothesis. Press up to access this. I have a think button. Who am I, Winnie the Pooh? Press make hypothesis to open the hypothesis panel. Complete a hypothesis by filling in missing words using keywords gleaned from evidence. Press consider to determine if you are correct. Press A to proceed. Let's make a hypothesis. Miss Dean's departure note is broken. Got him. Is forged. Consider? What if? This doesn't seem right. Chat, I need you to be real with me. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think the thing that I input to the game is incorrect, so I don't know what it wants from me. Hypothesis. The manager's telegraph machine is fixed. Not a useful hypothesis, but it is testable. Okay, now hang on. I think the game erroneously gives me both note and letter as if I should care. Great. Okay. So the game got really hung up because I used the word note because it was readily available instead of letter, and eat farts. Like, just don't do it. Just it gives me cause for concern about future implementation of the system. It's fine. So Mrs. Dean didn't leave the hotel.
Wants us to think that she did. But who? Can I learn anything about the culprit?
Let's see. I mean, they can write, so it's not like the one guy who couldn't write, whoever that is, narrows it down by one.
Of course. Educating the people over here isn't exactly the Crown's highest priority. As a result, literacy rates are low enough in the west of Ireland. The fact that this letter was written at all is a useful clue to the identity of the culprit behind whatever has befallen Miss Dean.
Mystery solved. She did not leave the manor, though somebody wants people to think that she did. Facts about the culprit. Completing the hypothesis is critical to advancing the mysteries and finding Miss Dean, as each successful hypothesis will reveal facts about the culprit. Information you know about the culprit will appear on the panel to the left. Use it as the story unfolds to eliminate suspects on the stream. For now, time to get some rest. We'll later proceed. I know 4 out of 7 possible facts about the guy who manages the hotel. It's in his mid-40s, manager knows the grounds, never met Dean before she arrived, and various writing from him. By investigating those present in the manor, I should be able to eliminate the suspect and reveal the culprit. That's a weird way of phrasing that. Eliminate the suspect? Singular? Who was behind her disappearance? Investigate. Nope, that's the wrong button. Here's all the facts about this guy, I guess. Back. culprit. Hey. Oh no, I see. Culprit takes us to. Got it. Okay.
Mr. Ward.
See, that seemed inevitable.
Mr. Ward. Your room is ready.
Look at this room rack. List of who's staying in what room. Miss Dean's name is not here. There are only 4 unoccupied rooms. 2, 7, 15, and 21. One of them must have housed her. Did I look at the staff roster? I'm doing it anyway. List of the staff's rota for the next few days. I think I got that from a different source. Gonna leave now?
Mr. Ward, what were you doing in there? Did you repair that machine only to use it to lure me away from my office?
I don't know why you would assume something like that. It's like, this guy only has 7 facts about him total? Boring guy. Demolition has how many facts Dracula has. Dracula says, number 1, cool mustache, other facts pale in comparison. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Whatever your reason for being there, you may take...
Hard game over. I kind of thought that might happen, but like... The fact that there was no... I expected some internal monologue from the character to be like, I probably shouldn't do this stupid thing if the game was going to care about it, but like... I guess that's where we're at. So, this is probably after the other thing.
Mr. Ward, Mr. Ward.
It sounds like his voice like distorts when he says that. Alright, I don't think I care enough to keep looking out here. Everybody died. The entire one man there died. You know what it's like in the hotel business. Right, Zaga? All the people in the hotel always be dying?
Mr. Ward, your room is ready. The porter shall meet us there.
Why do we look like Dracula's understudy? Because we're not good enough to play Dracula as, like, first string, right? Like, obviously. Like, it's just funny enough, we haven't had a death yet since opening. How long has the hotel been open? And is tonight the anniversary? What is this? What's this thing? What is this? A strange contraption. Wonder what its function is. What is it measuring? I think it's measuring the correct balance of lemon, lime, and carbonated water. Open almost 2 years. That's a pretty good amount of time not to have someone die. This feels rather ominous. Even though it's just a compass rose, it kind of feels like it's some sort of sacrificial nonsense. Recent drawing of Blake Manor. Jonathan Blake, owner of this estate, painted here with his young son, Walter, and late wife, Mary. Who is that? Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the ghost of Mary Blake. Where did she go? Was that a ghost? Get a grip, Declan. You're tired and this place is getting to you. Evidence of hauntings. Super good. Edward Blake, the man who built this manor, according to this plaque. The Marquess of Doom? What do I think mystery is?
If you head up the stairs, the porter will show you to your room.
Just opens his mystery menu. Weird flex, but okay. The authentic stair creaks are good and also a little upsetting. Portrait of a woman with dark hair. She's holding an ornate vase that looks to be Egyptian? Nani? Plaque reads, Lady Wilhelmina Blake. Also, I think it depicts the Egyptian god cards. We can only hope. Like I says, it's literally just a matter of time. Every hotel will have someone die in it at some point, especially hotels in Vegas, but they're contributing factors. I mean, the first part being true, the second part is definitely true. Why is the porter being so creepy? There's literally just an hourglass to wait by. Multiple different, like, wings that lead to some rooms. It's a little odd. When we look at this statue. Edward Blake, founder of Blake Manor. His outstretched hand makes him almost look Christ-like. Though he was anything but a savior figure. Do you like, know the guy? Time to analyze this man? His proportions are weird. He's got, like, way too much torso. Unusual Celtic cross. Celtic cross, though it seems somehow different than many I've seen. Look at his stupid face. His eyes are red, as if something is irritating them. Like my stupid face? I really thought that question mark was going to be in the groinular region. Shaky hand, seems to be suffering from some kind of tremor. Talk to him. Give him my keys or something?
This is your room, sir. Breakfast is served at 9 a.m. in the East Wing dining hall. Nice chance to meet your fellow, guests, that. Anyway, sleep well, and all that.
I guess it just implied I have my keys now. Thump. Thumpity, thump, thump, thumpity, thump, thump. I have a changing green or whatever. I can't look outside. Zako says, 9 a.m. for breakfast? Even more insanity from this nightmare hotel. Zako, I was so excited for the stream to come back, and now here we are. Living some stressful nightmare of a world that shouldn't exist. That can occur only in the Twilight Zone. Dun dun dun! Oh, hang on. There's a book. A guide to local flora and fauna. Though the locale in question seems to be in the north of England. Just making sure there's nothing already hidden anywhere. Save those, I guess. I don't know if I, like, black out and have to immediately go to bed like Stardew Valley or something. What day is it even? It's October 29th, 1897. And I think it is a... Friday? At least your room is in an acceptable state. It's true. Should I go, like, wander about? Won't be able to do much tonight. Okay. Love you, bye-bye. Freshly dressed with good quality sheets. I should rest. Sleep, I guess. Seriously, I just got breakfast in Hershey and the hotel closed breakfast by 9. Yeah, that's pretty standard, right? I mean, like, usually by like 10 or 10:30, I would expect breakfast to be closed at the latest. They need the little pancake machines. They do, but it would help if a child didn't cough directly all over them. For anyone who remembers that story from when I moved here. I should turn the footsteps down. They're a little loud. So drawing sigils is like a part of this game, which I only know because it's like in the options menu. I don't really know how it works, but there's like dot to dot or drawing mode, and I don't know which of those is good. There's like some hands. There's a few hands. In your hotel, these hallways are staff only, Zacula. Good job with the puzzle there. Thanks. It's not going to take long for me to just, like, be totally flummoxed by one of these. Not putting too much thought into this. What if we... This works. Yeah, that's fine. Letting you guys see the evil obelisk is crazy. Yeah, I mean, people hadn't really figured out how to run their hotels yet at this point in history, exactly. I mean, this was pre-turn of the century. Pre-turn of the last century. But yeah, this is how the staff are meant to get around quickly, which the fact that there's dysfunctional makes it even more confusing that it took so long to get our room set up, right?
Oh, my head. I don't feel rested at all. What was that dream? So vivid.
So those sigils
Despite
all...
my tiredness, I've woken with a new eagerness to attend this event's seance.
That sounds really bad. So those sigils all got added to our copybook, huh?
Given I only learned about the event last night, I find that odd. What on earth was that?
Seems fine to save over that. Need anything from my own luggage? No, I guess. Like it says, wait, did we do what we were supposed to? I thought we were supposed to find a lady before midnight. No, apparently when the game said, like, I had to solve the mystery of, like, the missing lady, they just meant that, like, before they would try to, like, have me go to my own hotel room, I would have to prove to myself and no one else that she was definitely missing under mysterious circumstances. Which, again, I call into question why that was, like, such urgency. Like, you think that if I'm the only person benefiting from that investigation that I could stand to just chill out and, like, rent a room. I guess the idea is that the hotel is so expensive he's not going to waste his money if there's not a mystery here. I don't know. It still feels a little weird to me. Our room seems really odd. What in particular about our room seemed odd, Neko? Who are you in this, a detective? It's like vaguely implied that we're like... I think we're supposed to be some kind of like freelance detective, also known as a freelance police. It's definitely like loosely implied that we're like priest adjacent. Oh, cool.
How fast must it have been going to break through like that, Mr. Hunter?
The expressions on both of their faces are really something else. There's something like really funny about this to me. It's just like neither one of them seems to care about this at all. Oh, another crow smashed through the window, eh?
Hard to say, Mr. Sham. Some of the wood up there needs replacing, so all he had to do was hit the wrong part.
Stable master and grounds, Mr. Derek Hunter. How do I know that? Is my character reading the subtitles? Given the attire, he's likely Father Lorcan Sinot. Sinot? I don't know. You decide. That guy is a reanimated corpse, I think. So like I said, why is the old guy kind of hot? I assume you mean this one and not the other one. You didn't order the early morning pro delivery. I mean, it comes whether you order it or not, right? Like it says, their expressions are funnier when you notice how they're standing. They're looking straight ahead in random directions, not even at each other. That is true. Like, the panels of just their faces kind of implied they were looking at each other, but they definitely were not. Those whispering women, only one matching pair signed in at the same time. A Mrs. Victoria Lau and a Miss Ivy McLeod.
What is happening
That guy's
here,
clearly
Mrs.
Edgar
Joyce?
Allan Poe.
Myself and the Marquess were in a meeting with Miss Mantovani.
Oh, sirs, it were a crow. Poor thing was dead on impact.
It were a crow. Don't worry about it. The bearded guy, not the priest that is clearly a skeleton with someone else's skin stretched over it. Listen, I'm not trying to assume or make anyone feel bad about, you know, what they're into, right, Zacula? So like, it felt like it needed to be clarified.
But don't you worry, we'll get this cleaned up in no time.
So I guess so there is housekeeping staff. Weirdly not. There's just like a lady who walks around in like housekeeping staff uniform. Oh no, game says she's the housekeeper. But maybe not like the housekeeper of this place. Maybe she's like an unaffiliated housekeeper.
Sorry, Marquess.
Why is one of the panels that the game is focusing on like clearly a haunted photograph of a Victorian child who died? Apparently she was working until midnight. I know the Irish weren't treated well in the 19th century, but dang. I mean, it's unclear to me whether she would have been working last night. We know the porter was working, but like, maybe like someone just had to go and wake the porter up so he could stand awkwardly outside our bedroom and tell us to go inside.
Miss Murphy?
I was just coming to get you for young Master Walter. He won't eat alone. The food'll go cold for long.
Miss Murphy, the cook.
Well, then I shouldn't keep Walter waiting any longer. Come, I shall leave the rest of you to it, and trust everyone to have a good day.
Now listen, I don't mean to sound sexist or regressive, but like, Marquess is a title that I'm not really familiar with, and like all established like English language tradition really makes that sound like a title for a woman. So I'm like a little thrown by that in the short term. Marquess of Dune, Jonathan Blake. Would the boy in that painting be the master of the house Walter? So wait, Walter has partnered with a cook? I've seen this one. It doesn't go super well. Motion seems to be drawing a crowd. I mean, like, feels a little late to comment on that when every single human being has appeared. We'll soon come to know the tragic extent of Walter Blake's failings. So true, Haggis. Is this everyone then? Everyone except Miss Dean, of course.
What's all this about a dead crow? Would that be a bad omen for anyone traveling today, yes?
There should be at least one person who wasn't able to sign their name, right?
Please, Mr. Coventry. Oh, Finn's being here is bad enough omen.
I'll level with you. When the people with the red hair appeared in the middle, I kind of thought that was another painting for some reason, and then she started talking.
Right. Some decorum, please.
What was that insane noise that he made that the game interpreted as the word aunt or aunt? Aunt, perhaps this then is our Ruauri and Fiad Callaghan? I mean, you're just messing with me now.
Ha! She said far worse about me, and it all true. Aye, it's a bad omen, Coventry. No doubt about that.
Guys, this is like the most unhinged game of Guess Who I've ever seen in my life. Like, it just gets weirder the more panels that show up. There's a druid here. It's like a straight up like Dungeons and Dragons druid. He's gonna like shapeshift into a bird or something. Next up, I assume that there's gonna be like literal like Jigsaw from the Saw movies. And like also Lurch from the Addams Family. And they're like sharing bunk beds in a room or something. Mr. O'Finn? He wasn't in the sign-in book. He must be Mr. X.
A bad omen. And it didn't show up in your cards, Mrs. Erickson. Oh my.
Woman in mustard? I mean, we're not even pretending not to be Clue anymore.
Show
I mean,
some respect.
come on.
Mr. Dupre, can't you keep your woman in line?
I have to say that I think this is a horrible way to introduce the player to like 20 characters or however many is the actual total. Just to just like have like every single one of them appear, but they only kind of like randomly introduce each other and not themselves. So like there's no shot I'm ever going to remember anyone's name based on what actually happened here. It already feels more alive than Chicken Police. I mean, yes, but I would agree with Neko that everyone in this game is oddly stiff. I prefer my stiff characters to be in a strong A pose, like in Eternal Sonata, which kind of just implies that they're wearing needlessly fancy clothing that like isn't flexible enough for them to move their arms. Psycho says, the only one I'm committing to memory is the druid. I think I'm right there with you. Maybe also Hazel Erickson, who's like clearly like a Native American like witch or something.
Or is your dynamic the other way around?
Mrs. Darcy is not my woman, Mr. Scarrett, nor am I her man. We are people and belong only to ourselves.
That's right, Mr. Dupre. Also, did Mrs. Darcy come from, like, gender bent Pride and Prejudice?
Actually, the cards are more of a tool, a guide. They reflect.
Keith says, we've got subtitles, so I don't need to remember any of these people. Unfortunately, like, the way that the logic system in this game works, I don't think that's really true.
Is there a need to prove yourself, Mrs. Erickson? Huh?
Man, I thought that, like, 999 was bad about introducing characters, but, like, this is just unhinged. A French accent. He's likely Mr. Toussaint, then. And here's, like, my high school bully, I guess. By process of elimination, that distracted man must be Cathal O'Meara. And those remaining women, the lady on the right looks more like a Barbosa, and the other a Quinn.
Speaking of late arrivals,
Who was our newest guest?
Oh god, they all turned slightly to me. As if we were, like, playing Doom and the character model kind of, like, swiveled a little bit.
This might be a good time to mention that breakfast will be ready at 9 a.m. in case anyone wants to return to their rooms and freshen up.
Is it standard procedure at this hotel for, like, everyone to get, like, completely dressed up in, like, a 4-piece suit and then look at a dead bird and then, like, completely change their outfit for breakfast? Saved by the bellboy. Am I? Is there a reason why I can't just tell people who I am? Like, legitimately, I don't know. Oh, that's a good point. Like I said, look at the painting. The crow was a pet. There's definitely a crow in the painting of the Victorian child who's apparently master of the house. One of these people must be behind Miss Dean's disappearance. But who are they all? They're all here for the seance, and some of them know one another clearly. Do they all know one another? Am I clearly an infiltrator? I can't think on that too much or I'll grow paranoid. All I can do is the job. Investigate her vanishing and probe into these people. One of them is behind it. The more I can learn about them and their reasons for being here, the better chance I have of finding her. I should make a record of their movements. Might be helpful to know what their plans are and when their rooms are free. I don't know how I'm okay. Hi, hello.
Un moment. Monsieur?
Oh. I hit a button that advanced dialogue in an unexpected way. I don't know if that was supposed to be voiced. You would be Declan Ward, correct? Ellipses. Allow me to even the playing field. I'm Etienne Toussaint, a debunker of fraudulent mystics, and it is the topic of fraud I wish to speak with you on. Analyze him. Zoom and enhance. Look at his lapel. Society of Psychical Research symbol. A crest which reads Society of Psychical Research. Notebook in pocket. A notebook worn around the edges, kept close to hand. I did it. I solved the man. How did, like, 8 minutes pass? Discuss evidence. Nico says I should probably have breakfast now. Yeah, probably a good time. Seeing what, it's like 7 in the morning? You don't want breakfast to close down at your own house, Neko. Let's talk to him about fraud, because he said that's what he wanted to talk about. Searching out fraud must be easy work at an event such as this. In what way, monsieur? It is a seance. Surely everyone involved in running it is a charlatan and the rest naive fools. Au contraire, monsieur. Many of the guests are true magical practitioners. At a gathering such as this, there is likely to be somebody looking to take advantage of the more vulnerable attendees, those who merely believe. I can only talk with this guy about magic. Colin the Gathering. Excuse me, did you say there are people here who think they can perform magic? No. I said there are people who can perform it. You are, I know, not of this scene, but believe me when I tell you, magic, rituals, ghosts, it is all real. It is hard, of course, and expensive in what it takes, so it is not commonplace. Easier for some to fake. This is ridiculous. To you right now, maybe. But you are here now, and you will soon see many unexplainable things. How do you know who I am? You know me, sir? Not quite, I know of you. Remains to be seen if you are truly the man I have heard about. Extremely helpful. Very good. I guess I'll talk to him about his business. Psychical research. But I might ask, what does that crest you're wearing indicate? It is the emblem of the Society of Psychical Research. A grouping of curious individuals who try to apply academic rigor to paranormal situations. It's a mixed set, some believers, some skeptics, some in between, but I find it suits me to have some like-minded people to share my work with. What's in your notebook? Is it Blue's Clues? Always carry that notebook? More often than not. This is a lot to record. Best I don't chance it to something fragile like memory. You agree, no? I have seen you making notes in your own journal, oui? Oui? No? Oui? There's like too many. I'm really worried there's like too many things in this game. Like that's just like a lot of like are like half of them gonna die at breakfast or something? So there's like a manageable number of characters to like comprehend. I don't really know. I guess, is it worth asking him about himself? I'm gonna say no.
That's all. I think not, monsieur. We're not done talking yet.
I'm not sure that's how conversations work. If you're not pointing a gun at me, I don't think you get to tell me that I'm not done having the conversation with you. I guess I'll ask him about the seance. Do you think the seance's claims could be true? So that they can actually summon a ghost and talk to it directly? You ask the wrong man, monsieur. Well, many things were considered impossible until they were done, no? I've witnessed many strange things in my line of business. From what I know of her, it can be done, and Mademoiselle Mantovani can do it.
That's all. I think not, monsieur.
Okay, do me a solid, video game. If it's like mandatory to do it to advance the game, like don't make it like a completely endless list of options. Like, why don't you just tell me the name of the movie you would like to see? Tell me about you, I guess. I'm an academic with particular interest in the supernatural. What of it can be proved or disproved? Enough people to prove its existence, but not so many try to mark where fraud begins. Take it from your accent you have traveled far to be here. Some distance, I will confess. I'm accustomed to traveling to England, London specifically, but this is significantly farther west. As for my origin, France, Paris nowadays, though I was born and raised in Reims. Have you ever been? Never left Ireland. Hope someday you'll have the opportunity. In the meantime, your country is quite beautiful in its own way. None of this is important or interesting. Please tell me what to do. Hello? Ask him about hauntings. Increasingly, I think I see strange things around this manor. The power of suggestion will do things to the mind, Monsieur Ward. Figments of the imagination, perhaps, but perhaps we'd best err on the side of believer for now and leave them be, no? Let's ask about the strange device. Have you studied the strange device in the atrium? I have, and it is strange indeed. This place has other similar devices. I'm unsure if it means anything or if it is purely for display. Strange occurrences. I've noticed handprints on my mirror as if it were cold. That's the strangest thing, or at least I have seen stranger through my work. Can I leave now?
I think not, Mr.
I can't be the only person who finds this annoying, right? I guess I'll ask him about all of the guests. You suspect someone then? I believe most attendees are legitimate practitioners, but yes, I have my suspicions. Attendees and staff have their own problems to be solved. Solving these mysteries will help you uncover more about their relationship with Dean and their own reasons for attending the seance. You've gained enough evidence to solve Mr. Toussaint's hypothesis. Have I? After solving the hypothesis, confront Mr. Toussaint to find out what your deductions have revealed. Or my hypothesis. Let's go ahead and make that hypothesis. Mr. Toussaint's goal is to blank me into blank a blank for blank. Match game 76! Nico says she can't open a jar. Have you considered merely smashing the jar on top of some container and then you can just like catch all of the contents of the jar inside of that? This goal is presumably to coerce me into investigating a guest for fraudulence. Consider? I know what happened here.
It seems Mr. Toussaint is here on a witch hunt and intends to force me to his side. I should confront him about this.
Yes, to blank me. If you're familiar with the Match Game 76, you should expect something raunchy as a result. Nico says she doesn't want to eat the entire contents of the jar. That is a problem. Goes to coerce me into investigating a guest for fraudulence.
Quite right. Excellent. I had planned to do it myself, but once I saw you, I knew you would have to help, Detective.
You really emphasized the lack of H on that word to an almost cartoonish degree. Big Richard Dawson fan. Oh man, don't hear a lot of people talk about Richard Dawson in 2026, because that's where we are now, 2026. And the entire day I've been here, I've only heard Sarah talk about Richard Dawson.
So, you do know who I am.
Indeed. I am an investigator of my own sort, you see. It would be foolish of me enter a new country and not read the papers, n'est-ce pas?
I don't know, I kind of think this guy's French accent is at least as bad as mine.
As for my own investigation, I have focused on Madame Hazel Erickson. I'll get to the heart of it. She's an out-and-out fraud. About this I have no trace of a doubt. But my belief alone is not quite enough. I still lack evidence.
He is unfortunately not still with us. Yeah, I don't know when he passed, but obviously his heyday was some time ago, when he kissed like every contestant on Family Feud on the mouth. It's something that absolutely would not fly these days, like at all.
Here, take this key. It will let you into room 19, Madame Erickson's room. There you can find something that proves the case. Of this I'm sure.
What makes you think I'd do a thing like that?
That's your job, is it not? And you would want to keep your presence here quiet? No? You won't hear a thing further about your presence once you have aided me. Here, the key. I shall see you back with the evidence inside the hour. Yes? Otherwise, well, I will have to make an announcement at breakfast. You will be out no long after, I assure you.
And how do you expect me to get into Miss Erickson's room safely?
I believe I heard her discussing her plans with Monsieur Aufin. You might consider listening in.
So, it probably won't surprise you to know that I don't think I'm in love with the repeated use of short time limits. I know they're not all that constricting in that, like, you get 60 time units to solve, like, an hour mystery, but I will say that that's a little bit compounded by the nature of that conversation where, like, there are a certain number of things you have to do in order to be able to form a hypothesis about what he's asking you to do. And if you don't hit those in your first, like, 4 guesses or whatever, then you're just, like, wasting time that has to apply to, like, the time limit that you didn't know you would have until you completed that. Like, I don't love the intersection of that. Can eavesdrop on private conversations to discover more clues. Okay, but, like, how to do it? Oh.
I'm sorry, sir, but do you have a pen I can borrow?
No use for one. Drudgery is an oral tradition, so I never got much into the writing. A hole must serve me grand for my purposes. Do you want my chisel?
You shouldn't ask a lady that, I think.
No. I was planning on taking some notes. I want to go downstairs and examine the energy left by that poor bird before breakfast.
Why?
I suspect there is something to be learned about our fortunes here. If only I could have gotten to it before it was cleaned up.
He's gonna read entrails?
Well, I suppose some folks here have never gutted a bird to read its entrails before.
Is that some kind of Irish saying?
No.
Oh, well, you'll excuse me then.
I'm, like, legitimately confused if that's not what she was trying to imply. I felt like that was what she was trying to imply. Mr. Ruffin doesn't write, and I didn't see his name on the sign-in book. He must be the person who marked his name with an X. I'll make a note of that. While investigating, you can learn characters' movements across the weekend. The entire span of this game is the weekend? I don't know if I should take that as a positive or a negative. This information is learned by asking people, searching rooms, listening in on conversations, and more. This information will be added to the timetable. Oh, Lord in heaven. As you learn more information, the timetable will be populated. Characters will appear on the map each hour if you know their schedule for that time slot. Reminders can also be set so events aren't missed. I like that for 1 hour, this dude is just away. Congratulations, Neko. Neko has opened the jar and did not have to smash it, although it still would have been kind of funny. Not good, mind you, but, like, kind of funny. So 19 was, like, over in this corner, yeah? I don't think that guy's looking at... By the way... Act on Etienne Toussaint. Okay. I'm not sure what that notice is allegedly doing for me. Burned paper. Remains of a letter from a contact telling her that she is magically void, meaning she cannot learn magic no matter how hard she tries. No wonder she burned it. Okay, Golinda. There's some sort of drugs. Mixture of morphine and scopolamine. I don't know what that is. Heard of this concoction being used to sedate people. Is this for our own use or for selling more sinister? Book by Mr. Toussaint, Frauds and Their Methodology, Volume 2. Has several pages bookmarked. Not what I was expecting from that. Ooh, combination lock, huh? Nothing happens if I touch this crystal ball. Feels surprisingly cool.
I'm running out of time to find Mr. Toussaint as evidence.
Well, whose fault is that? I'm gonna blame him for it. Standard deck of tarot cards. Can't see anything special about them. What, the Hogda? Book on the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Spiritualist Society. Attendees list. It says targets. Miss Dean's name is circled. A spooky book. No, it's a regular book. This is Erickson's schedule for the weekend. I have noted her movements in my timetable. Why do people mark all of their movements for a whole weekend all at once? Is this like Club Med or something? Hang on. Dress bedecked with beads and sequins. Surely it's for the stage. Just writing materials, nothing written on it. What's the combination for this, I wonder? I got a wild guess. It's not long enough for Hogturd, but what about Hogda? A collection of notes. There are 5 observations here. Illuminatus magicus consumatio. I don't know. There's a red scribble at the end of this that says, "But who? I cannot risk picking another pariah like me." Magic resides in the heart of the user. Consume it and you will take their power. Fun. Good and fun and great. And good and fun. Good, great, good, fun. Place the sedated victim inside the ritual circle. Well, I think we know what the sedative is for. Candles, a knife, bog oak, everything required to carry out the ritual. Looks to be a ritual to eat the heart of a person and steal their magical abilities. Good God, she can't honestly mean to go ahead with this. The angle at which I'm looking at this is annoying. These kind of look like tampons. These candles. Something about the angle they're being presented at. I appreciate that chat's guess for the combination was boob, but boob singular is too sad, I think. Rich red candles, something about them leaves me uncomfortable. Is it the blood sacrifice implied by their presence? Small stones with runes roughly carved into them. So that is not a door that closes on its own.
Sosajima.
We're still trying to guess the combination?
Shall we sculpt some flesh friends, then?
If we did sculpt some flesh friends, would we need a... Could we sculpt a flesh friend to have their own heart and generate, like, some amount of magical ability and then consume their heart and gain that power and have, like, an infinite money glitch? Someone commented, those are some spicy tampons, which Neko asked, do we want spicy tampons? And I think that is a question that does not need to be answered because it is too apparent. So does that mean... Okay, so I still apparently don't have enough information to form a hypothesis. I don't know what my ideal version of this system is, but with the time limit, it feels a little frustrating to not have some sense of what I'm working towards. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like I should be close.
Shall we sculpt some flesh friends, then?
Do we think there's a clue in her shoes? No, I already looked at this. I looked at both of those. So check the lockbox. Check this paper. There's stationery in there. We checked that. Something like in the fire that she's burned more than the note or something like that. I guess I'll look at her shoes. Variety of average sized shoes. Excellent. Okay, I am unclear as to how I can meaningfully proceed. That good does not like the optics of a random guy breaking into a hotel room and looking for clues in a lady's shoes. I mean, clues are important. I think that's all I can say about that without consulting my lawyer. In seriousness though, definitely not a feet guy. I don't get it. Unnoteworthy clothes. I really don't feel like I have not checked anything. Does anyone know what I should have gathered that I haven't done? Like, using my ancestor vision, I feel like I've done everything. But if that were true, I should be able to form a hypothesis, shouldn't I? Is that notes in the one drawer? I mean, I think I've interacted with all of the drawers, right? I interacted with book and tarot cards, and this one only had, like, stationery. And, like, this one only had drugs in it, didn't it? Yeah, there's no further open. You look in the garbage can? I did. I'm not seeing anything there. There's also like a soot can or something. I don't see anything in there. Chest of drawers had something. This is her timetable that I've already copied down. It's just, it doesn't seem like it's a clue. It's just like for future reference. But it doesn't even have time cost, so I can just do it again. Yeah, it's her schedule for the weekend. So, like, on the one hand, I'll give you, you know, like, the yellow paint argument of, like, should all of the clues be obvious? Doesn't that defeat the purpose of gameplay? Sure. If you're gonna put, like, a hard time limit on it, though, it feels bad to have to search, like, everything. I don't know. But also, even at that, I genuinely feel like I have searched everything. Everything that could feasibly be anything. Like, there's definitely something cool about the way the game wants the investigation to work. But I do have to say it's a little fiddly. There's like so much information that the game like absorbs, and like I feel like there's probably a way to streamline some of that to like make this feel more engaging or something. I do low-key hate the time limit thing. I mean, you know I hate time limits. And at first I was like, like 1 minute per thing you look at, maybe that's not so bad. But like, there's different ways to do it, and I know I'm really biased, but like, for me, maybe it would be more interesting to sort of have to commit blocks of time in like half-hour increments or something. So it's like you can investigate her room and you don't finish that until a half hour has passed, or like when you leave, that marks a half hour passing. And then like I don't feel like the frustration of like, do I want to look at this paper? Is this paper just like her grocery list? Like there's like a tension for me where like normally I want to just look at everything, but like a game like this makes me be like, like, how much do I think that's a clue? And like for me, that definitely saps some of the enjoyment out of the experience of trying to like look around and find stuff. Because like now I'm like really anxious about like clicking things that like aren't useful, you know? But like also, again, at this point, I genuinely feel like I've clicked everything in the room and I don't know what to do or how to proceed. I've like literally clicked like the boring outfits. I've clicked like pen in her desk. It does not seem to me like there's anything else in the lockbox I can interact with. All this before breakfast, right? That French guy shouldn't even have talked to me before I had my coffee. I presume. I like literally don't think there's anything in this room that like even has time cost associated with it, because when you do it once, you no longer have time cost. Which I guess at least that much is good to know. So like a microscopic hitbox for a letter under the stationery or something stupid like that. I think the shoes share a hitbox. Like, I genuinely, honest to God, I don't even see something in this room I could investigate. Am I done? I don't know. Is it crystal ball thing we can touch? Yes and yes, we have touched it. It's just not interesting or useful. Okay, hold on a second. Save. Sure. Just like do a new save. Okay. So unlike that conversation that felt like I should be able to leave, that room I felt like I shouldn't be able to leave, I could leave. Yeah, apparently we were done. I don't really know. I don't really know.
Ah, hello again, Monsieur Ward. Can I help you?
Actually,
that's all.
Take care.
I feel like I need to go make sure that I actually, like, closed her safe after all that messing around. Okay, it did close. So now I'm going to talk to Mr. French guy and maybe advance the game. I don't know how to articulate this to you, but there's some lack of, like, tactile accomplishment that, like, even though, like, the structure of this game seems like something that I would like, it doesn't feel like I do anything? I don't know how to put this to convey it. Discuss. I just grabbed a paper indicating that Mrs. Erickson is a pariah. I thought that might interest you. It does, but a scrap, you say? Is the page complete? Is she named on it? She is not. Then it will not suffice. I do not think we convince anyone it isn't a forgery, however real it might be. I found a ritual in her room. It talks of eating a person's heart to steal their magical abilities. Surely this is nonsense, sir. Such a thing cannot be real. What's more, she cannot intend on doing this. That is ominous, rather too ominous. Certainly such rituals exist. Do they work? I cannot say. Would she do it? Madame Erickson is a fraud, monsieur, but I have trouble believing her capable of such a deranged act. You'll no doubt find many here studying strange things, but reading a book on sacrifice is not the same as performing it, correct? If we are to know this is her plan, and not academic in nature, she would need to confess. She is unlikely to confess to me, but to you, perhaps. I discovered a list in her room with names of guests on it. Interesting, but it doesn't prove anything of itself. A list of marks for her fraudulent ways? A list for something more? Who can say off this alone? Your name was marked off. How insulting. A list of people she does not like, maybe? Evelyn Dean's name was circled. At the top was written targets. Yeah, I feel like targets is a thing you should lead with in that discussion. Interesting. Speculation, yes, but perhaps it is that I do not use magic, whereas Mademoiselle Dean, she is rumored to be a studied woman. I like that one of the talking points is proof. Proof is needed to declare somebody to be a fraud. Thanks. What sort of proof would suffice to show someone to be a fraud? Any number of things, catching them in the act, of course, but record of their methods, a letter admitting they were faking it, even a confession would do if witnessed by somebody of standing. I'm sure you'll know it when you see it. Hard disagree. Hard disagree. Hey, Miss Toasty,
That's
Happy
all.
New Year.
Take care.
Oh, it's nearing breakfast and...
So, is the implication that I'm supposed to, like, go find What's-Her-Face and ask her if she's gonna do a sacrifice, and when she says yes, I can be like, haha! Because that's dumb. Can I go ahead and analyze her? Look at her fancy magic necklace. An elaborate crest worn with pride. I don't recognize the symbol, however. Costume jewelry. An array of jewelry, the sort worn by spiritualists and show women. It kind of looks like the weird bangle that Apollo Justice has that lets him, like, judge people's body language for evidence. Nervous energy. She hides it well, but she seems uncomfortable. For what reason? I'm sorry, did looking at her somehow give me a hypothesis? I don't... Oh, Demolition gifted 3 months of sub to Miss Toasty. Thank you, Demolition. Very kind of you. Dude. Does the game want me to believe that the fact that she has nervous energy is somehow, like, the nail in the coffin that she's planning on doing a ritual? Because that's, like, the most circumstantial thing I can think of. How's the stream going so far? It's going okay. I'm still not totally sure what to make of this game. There are things about it I like, but, like, the pacing feels weird. I think is the big thing. It's a lot of things. Okay, so I think I understand the problem now. And I don't love it. I think there's like a serious problem with the game's introduction to its systems now that I understand what has occurred here. So it seems like I had all of the information that I needed from her room, but that the notion of a hypothesis of her being a fraud could only be executed from, like, a mystery tree plot that was focused around her character. So without any, like, explanation from the game, it's not possible to proceed, even if I have every possible evidence that she is a fraud, without, like, literally just, like, going over and looking at her, which, like, on, like, one hand, I, like, kind of get, but on the other hand, it's, like, a video game, and, like, if something like that is necessary, you should, A, probably tell me that, and, like, B, at the very least, like, have, like, a less losable situation where that information might be uncovered at lower stakes. But okay, let's go ahead and make a hypothesis. Hazel Erickson's goal is to blank the blank of blank to blank her blank. Okay. I mean, I think the last blank is magical abilities. Goal is to consume the heart of, I mean, presumably Evelyn Dean, given that the other options are, like, valuables or jewelry. To, yeah, steal, right? Consider that. I know what happened here.
Mrs. Erickson intends on murdering Evelyn Dean to eat her heart and steal her magical abilities. I must confront her before it's too late.
I guess says, I'm gonna consume the jewelry of Evelyn Dean. Nom 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 nom. Yes, and then you can absorb her lock or something. Yo, we got Mad Libs as a video game mechanic. What's funny is, like, I've actually seen that kind of on the rise. Like, for a long time, I had never seen or heard of a game doing that. And now there's, like, a bunch that kind of work that way to varying degrees. Alright, I guess I'm going to tell her that I know that she's trying to kill a lady who disappeared.
Well, hello there. I don't recognize you. We haven't met before, have we?
Jacques!
We haven't. I'm Declan Ward.
Mrs. Erickson. Hazel, if ever we should get so friendly. I'm a medium by trade, so naturally I had to come to this gathering. I'm hoping to pick up some new skills before the end.
Confront! Your goal is to... Okay, it's time to have an adventure game talk about the way adventure games and conversations in adventure games work. Hello, my name is whatever Ward. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Erickson. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Your goal is to consume the heart of Evelyn Dean to steal her magical abilities.
How could you possibly... Can you, read minds? Or did you let yourself into my room to rifle through my belongings?
I ate the heart of someone who knew what you were doing. Does that help?
Bad news for both of us, then. You can't say anything without giving yourself up as a thief. And who would believe you?
To be honest, she is a terrible criminal. Because I just, like, said this to her and, like, she made, like, absolutely no effort whatsoever to, like, not incriminate herself. She's just like, wait, how did you know I was going to do a murder?
Whatever it is, you're no mystic, so there's no way you can't understand. To know such secrets exist, such wonders to see, and to be kept from it by some abnormality. What's the reason? I've put the work in and nothing. Am I a soulless freak? Is that why?
Listen, I just don't want you to, like, murder that lady. Someone's gonna give me $300 if I can find her alive. Sophie says she likes the art style of the game. I do too. I feel like the huge info dump of characters, once it opened up, sort of, like, tempered my appreciation of it. Because, like, I felt like a disproportionate amount of pressure to try and, like, comprehend all, like, 20 characters at once or whatever. Which, like, again, I do not think that was the right way to introduce 20 characters. That's some crazy people stuff. Hey, Cotillion, welcome to the stream.
Am I to be punished in this life, and then again for eternity? Would you sit by and do nothing? Well, I won't. I'll have my heart, my powers, my soul, and all you get by saying something is a nasty dealing with when I have them. Stay out of this, Mr. Ward. If you have any sense.
I'm not sure why the game insisted that be a thing I do. That doesn't necessarily seem like a really particularly good way to go about dealing with someone who's planning on committing murder. It's the same problem that I have with the show Poker Face, which is a show that I enjoy. But, like, a lot of the times, like, the central character has this, like, supernatural ability to tell when other people are lying to her. So, like, she's able to, like, work out when people are doing criminal things. But then, like, she has, like, no game plan for trying to, like, apprehend them. And will just sort of, like, declare stuff to their face and, like, should die most of the time. It's really funny that I can, like, still talk to her. Wait, what action is represented by the gears? Verified true connection. I feel like I should talk to Mr. Guy. Mr. France. Good night, Keen. Act on Hazel Erickson. Additional 1 actions in the mind map. What is this? Please eat the heart of a practitioner so she may steal their abilities. I need to stop her. Okay, but, like, what does that look like, my dude? My brother in rice? What does that look like? I I guess you're also gears? Does that mean we can gears together? Can we make them touch? So, like, okay. I know there's an internal logic to the way that this game thinks about, like, goals and evidence and accomplishing things, but, like, it's not done in a way that's, like, obviously and, like, immediately satisfying. And it's also not done in a way where, like, it's obvious exactly what the game wants me to do, seemingly a lot of the time. Like, there's just, like, kind of a rough quality to this, which, like, definitely isn't helped by the nonsense of the time limits. Okay, talk to this guy about the confession. Mrs. Erickson confessed to me that she is a magical void lacking abilities, however, she remains determined to carry out a ritual.
Mrs. Erickson has confessed to me. She is indeed a fraud. She has no magical powers. She seems to be incapable of using magic, in fact.
I like the vocal quality of the main character, but, like, he seems bored all the time. Like, he doesn't seem commit. She's a fraud. She has no magical powers.
Did someone say
seems incapable of using magic. You could argue that January 1st was the birthday for a new year.
Something that plagues her, to the point where she will perform a ritual to steal the heart and
The
magical
internet
prowess
wizard.
from another ear.
What? No, it cannot be.
She is in dire need to feel magic. To have it, it seems. But also, she fears that the reason she cannot use magic is a flaw in her soul.
She's blinded, of course, by our desires. Anyone who believes in a soul would also believe that there is no eternal bliss for them after murder, especially in a manner so foul. What's more, now you and I know our plan. Here, take my notes. Let her know that if she does this, not only it will stain her in her God's eyes for eternity, but also we'll see her hanged and raised to this oblivion she fears so much.
What notes could he possibly have that would be like...
She would be better served getting off this path now and finding more mundane solutions to finding her God's favor. I am told one can cleanse her soul with coin. My record shows she certainly coned enough of that in her time. As for you and me, Monsieur Warder, our business is done. Whatever reason you're really here, your identity is safe with me.
Like I says, I think it's very funny that this is still a very clearly an Irish voice actor trying to do a French accent.
And as for this place,
I mean,
news of our plans has turned my
it's clear it's not a French
I've had
guy.
enough mysticism for this trip. I shall be sitting the séance out.
The séance?
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have notes to make in my quarters. Au revoir, monsieur.
I hope he's talking about actual notes and not a euphemism for, like, number 2. Mr. Toussaint now has the information he needed on Mrs. Erickson, which will ensure she does not do something more terrible. What's happening now? That gauge decreased and a light went out as soon as Mr. Toussaint decided he was no longer attending the seance. What? Do you mean to tell me that the, like, secret of the ooze is that it's just like an abacus telling how many people have, like, RSVP'd yes to the seance? What exactly is that device monitoring and why? Maybe I should convince another guest to avoid the event and see if this occurs again. Sure. Why not, maybe?
Excuse me, sir.
That was the way you could pronounce that word. What are you talking about, Zaka? It's a classic science.
Is this your room? Number 4? Mr. Ward?
Yes, that's me.
Sorry to disturb you, sir. Just delivering this parcel to your room. It was left for you at the front desk.
Is it dynamite?
By who?
No idea, sir. It was left when nobody was about to see.
Nobody was about to see what? What was about to happen?
Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
What is this? A journal? It has Miss Dean's name on it. What's inside? I hope it's coupons. How did this get here? No postmark, so it came from the hotel itself. But from who? Regardless of who sent it, I should read the thing. Okay, I guess I'll just do that now. Sunday the 24th, she talks of her arrival at the manor. Everything seemed to go smoothly. Her writing is delicate and graceful, as was her signature. What are these 4 symbols beside the word supplies? Monday the 25th, seems she bumped into somebody and was not pleased to see them. It looks as if she was to name them on the following page, but that information is now missing. Seems some pages were torn out. Some pages were torn out, and yet none days were lost. Tuesday the 26th, the night she went missing. She speaks of feelings of dread, and she doubts she will sleep at night. Writing's become more erratic since she arrived at the manor. A sigil with dream scrawled next to it. I saw this in my dream. Did she dream it too? What does this dream, mean? Did we have the same dream? What does it mean? Has anyone experienced anything similar, I wonder? What does it mean? If I could find even 3 people with similar experiences, then I could be sure there is something here. What a weirdly specific thing to say. Okay, listen, hear me out. Hear me out. I think this game is, like, really bad at, like, communicating small details to the player. Like, is it the case that, like, the standard procedure of adventure games communicating with players is a little ham-fisted? Yes, but generally, I think it is for the best in an adventure-style game that you be clear about what goals are currently active, even if the method of executing on them is not clear. Like, that can be a puzzle. That can be a mystery. But, like, it should always be clear, like, what you're doing, in my opinion. This game has not been very good about that. It has required some trial and error to get through even the earliest stuff in this game. And then it goes and says something really bafflingly awkward, like, if I could find even 3 people with similar experiences, then I could be sure there's something there. I mean, it's just such a peculiar, like, thing to say or think or feel or do. Like, I don't know how to explain this to you if it doesn't just, like, automatically resonate as just strange. This has left me with more questions than answers. Perhaps some answers lie in her reason for being here. Maybe I can find something related to that, or otherwise useful, by searching her room. But in which room was she staying? Do I have to, like, show the notes to that lady before breakfast or I die of, like, cholera? I do like the creaky stairs, I really do. Strange contraption. The gauge is no longer full and the first light has gone out. I saw this happen when Mr. Toussaint decided not to go to the seance. Saga says, maybe I should question the others to see if there's a pattern to this phenomenon. Would be a better way to get that point across to the player. I'm not sure I agree with that. Not in the sense that I think that's, like, obviously wrong, but, like, if the game wants me to get specifically 3 other people to corroborate that, that is useful information to convey to the player. There's probably a better way to put it, though. It's really not quite 3D in a fairly obvious way.
Mr. Ward, surely we have nothing left to discuss?
Hold on, I have evidence. Hold on, it's these notes.
Mrs. Erickson, we need to talk.
There's some quality that our main character has that I don't love. He just seems like put upon by like trivial things that I feel like protagonist characters should just be able to do.
This had best not be about my personal affairs again. Why don't you do us both a favor, Mr. Ward, and stop interfering? What could you, of all people, possibly have to say to me?
That's not a bad point. Perhaps you'll be more interested in what Mr. Toussaint has to say.
Nani? That's like some classic anime-like reaction grunt. Nani?
Shall we go to your room then? Or would you rather discuss this in the open?
Yes, my room, sir.
Wouldn't it have still been like extremely improper for like an unmarried man and woman to like conspire in a hotel room in this place and time? Sagala says, my personal affairs
So
being
you read
a
the
euphemism
notes.
for conspiracy to
Understand
commit
your
first-degree
situation.
murder.
Whether you face eternal damnation now is a point of debate. You assume that this is linked to this magical nullness you have. You may well be wrong. But if you do this, then you are locking yourself onto that path. And Mr. Toussaint will ensure your remaining days will not be easy. Magic or no.
He's right. I'm a damned fool. I wanted so much to be special. To have what the others have.
Well, they call it practicing magic for a reason. You just keep trying it. You don't gotta eat people.
But now you have taken that hope from me. Maybe you will have saved my soul. But even now, I think I'd pay that price for a taste of that.
Okay, weird.
If he wasn't going to rob my chance to use and appreciate it, I would curse you both if I didn't know there would be no venom in my bite. But he wins. I forsake this ritual. And I forsake this seance. I have no want to see others enjoying what I will never have. I hope they see their ghost and more. So much more.
Didn't you basically just say you didn't hope that?
Now, I would really like to be left alone. I have a lot to think about.
You only have 11 minutes to get changed for breakfast. Mystery solved. Mrs. Erickson is no longer attending the seance. This game is using the word mystery in a really peculiar way. It's saying like mystery solved when a lot of the time it kind of just means like job done or like task accomplished. Boop. I was right. The gauge decreases as people's plans for the seance change. I'm still unsure of the device's purpose, but my gust says I want this decreased as possible by the seance. I got the bounty hunter achievement. This seance has attracted the likes of Mrs. Erickson, then Miss Dean may be in even more danger than I realized. I was able to make her see sense, but I doubt that's enough to spare her from eternal damnation. She is a fraud, an unrepentant sinner with no regard for the harm caused by her pursuit of power. How many desperate people has she cheated to get this far? Can she atone for what's already done? That is, if she even realizes she needs to? Regardless, she's no longer my concern. Okay, I feel like it's fine to save over stuff. It seems like if you get everything done before one of these deadlines, then any other time you have is just gravy. It like doesn't matter too much. So I'm just gonna like save over the last one to hopefully avoid having like 2 trillion many of these. Oh shoot, I didn't analyze the druid. Gang, let's look at him. Let's look at his beard. Looks to be living a hermit's lifestyle. Ornate belt. His belt is quite eye-catching. Crown. A roughly made crown of wood and leather. Staff. A yew branch with the simplest of ornamentation, but he carries it proudly. Now there's a library topic of folk healing. How long is this game?
Ah, there you are now.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but do I know you?
No, I never said such. Just plainly, there you are, and you are.
He's got me there. It says, I think you meant to say crayon. I'm not sure those are as interchangeable as nerd and note, but they might be.
You have me there, sir.
Sir, I'm no knight. I'm done enough in, and you can call me such. I'm a proud traveller protector of these lands.
Noted. I am Declan Ward.
Forward
Also,
to be here.
Not a knight.
Haha, good to meet you, lad.
I take it that you've come for the seance.
Ah, yes and no. I'm here because of the seance, but not for it. I have no urge to speak to the dead. I doubt they have much comfort to offer up. What interests me is those people who want to speak to the dead. How they intend to do it, and more, what they will be doing afterwards to clean up their mess. These rich people, they think because they force themselves on these lands they can do what they want to them? It won't stand. The land won't let it, and neither will I.
Does this guy know where Miss Dean's room is? Don't know how to find my own room. Awesome. So you don't like that seance, huh? Very exciting to talk to a ghost. I'm sure the dead have lots to say. Oh no, my god, isn't it real? I wasted my life, so on, and so didn't show up for my funeral. I'm more interested in mad fellows who think death is more interesting than life. The stupid things they'll do to prove it. You have weird dreams? Strange dreams? Funny you should say that. I don't recall the dream, but I woke up this morning with both a wanting to stay and a wanting to get out of this place. Sure, how am I meant to do both? I can say it's a direct match for the dreams Miss Dean and I had. It's close, but not enough. I have to know what he is king of. Strange occurrences, images is not pleasant. Yeah. Unusual crown you got there. Crown? That's the pale speaking in you, lad. It's a circlet. It's a sign of my station as a druid, a protector of this land and its inhabitants. Crown. Why, yada. Tell me more about the druid. Say you're a druid? As much as anyone can be. The Catholics didn't leave much trace of the old ways, but I pieced together a tradition that feels alright to me and called it Druidism. No more made up than anything else, mind. For the most part, I just treat all natural things as equal in value. People, plants, animals, and places. Real places, the wild and such, not man-made intrusions like this manor. Bloody eyesore. Of course he's literally a druid. I don't know how you could possibly question that. Tell me about your magical druid staff. It signifies I'll bash you if you come near me or mine. No, you mind what they say, lad. There are still plenty of snakes in Ireland. Okay. Tell me about the code of conduct. What is the code you live by? Nothing fancy, just try to treat all people, creatures, plants as equal. Leave no trace, burn safely, and leave my share for other folks. You sport an uncommon look. Man is only truly free when he is free of the opinion of others. Alright, let's ask about that ornate belt. You have quite the ornate belt in that heraldric cube. You like it? I killed and skinned the deer myself. My cousin Connor helped me shape the tin, and is fierce handy with a ball hammer.
No, I should go.
Only do something if you want, not because you should.
It's breakfast time. So I gotta find the dining hall. Do I know where that is? I have a map button, don't I? I don't know which button it is. I'm in the atrium. So if I haven't been in a room, it doesn't register on the map. Got it. That's the drawing room. That's the something room, bathroom. Got it, got it, got it, got it. Let's save over. I don't know. Earlier atrium. Okay, that's the library. That's the lobby, which doesn't seem to have space for it. Southeast corridor? Bathhouse Gardens bar. None of that. Staff only room. Ah, dining room. Let's save over that last one just so I have something that doesn't say atrium on it.
Hello again, sir. You here for the meal?
I mean, for detective reasons, I should probably ask this guy his name. I really feel like the character I'm playing, like, would not be bothered to do that, huh?
Oh, sorry, sir. My name's Doyle. Seamus Doyle. So, the meal.
They call me Irish McIrish. Definitely ask the druid to get you in. That's well observed, Sarah. That's probably an alternate solution for the puzzle of B staff. I guess I'll eat.
Certainly, sir. Let me show you to your seat.
If you're looking for a seat, you're welcome to join us. I'm sure my companion here won't mind.
I thought you were each your own person or something.
Why not? I'm being educated on the specifics of tomorrow evening's seance, and why, apparently, it's so impressive.
Hey, what is it we're eating? Like, enormous slices of bread, and then is that like a fortune cookie on her plate? Zach was still bent out of shape at the 9 a.m. breakfast. There's a different time, man. Oh. Sure. Why would... I mean, join them, right? Like, it's a weird amount of time spent, but I assume, you know, it is of significance. Like, why would I have come here if I didn't want to eat? Because if the other option was, like, sit by myself or sit at a different table, maybe. But if it's just, like, leave, then I just spent 6 time for no reason. And I'd probably want to come back here or something. Appears to be toast. But, like, what's the other thing? And also, why does the toast look awful? Like, I agree it's a toast rack, but it's, like, really thick and bland looking.
Declan Ward. Pleased to meet you both.
Allow me to introduce Mrs. Olivia Darcy, and I am Lloyd Dupre.
He really wanted to pronounce every single letter of that name. Lloyd Dupre.
Would you believe that he's somewhat of an expert on all things related to death?
She means I am an undertaker.
More than that, evidently. We were just talking about this grand séance, and I'm trying to understand what it is that makes it so grand.
I agree the woman's voice is familiar. I kind of want to say it's the lady from Hobbs Barrel, but I don't think that's right. It's food from the British Isles, bland looking is par for the course. No comment.
All seances are used to speak to ghosts. Is that not the entire point of them?
She keeps saying that word weird. We all know it's seance.
So, wherein lies the distinction? Surely, if Miss Mantovani has held a seance before, then she has also made a ghost talk before.
No, though I understand the confusion. We have gotten close to that feat, parallel to it, but direct communication has not been achieved. Seances are used to invite a ghost to communicate, and to provide a means for them to do so. In the most successful cases, the spirit speaks through the medium themselves. But those cases are debunked at worst, and uncorroborated at best. There is no way to prove beyond doubt that the medium did not make it up.
It's Pia from Old Skies.
Now, in any records of direct sightings, and this is true of my own encounters, the ghosts cannot speak for themselves.
Voice actress has been in Hobbsborough and Harold Halibut. Yeah, I think that's the same one. Sega says I do like that they've nailed the whole thing about rich people from this time period and from this part of the world were weirdly obsessed with occult nonsense. I mean, when there's so little to do in the ordinary world with so little technology and whatnot, I mean, what else are you going to do with all that time and money?
Miss Mantovani intends to...
What's she intend to do?
Oh dear, I've made a right hames of this. Don't fret, nothing's broke.
A right hames?
Oh, do you need help, Mrs. Joyce?
They didn't even have Crunchyroll back then. It's true. One Piece hadn't even started then. That's how long ago this was.
Oh no, sir, thank you. I managed to drop it. I can manage to pick it back up, I'm sure.
I'll pick it up and put it in my purse. Oh, Stan said, speaking of Crunchyroll, I started Card Captor Sakura last night. The original? I started watching Clear Card, but I never finished it. Because I got distracted, and then Crunchyroll no longer had, like, the free ad-supported tier, and now I'd, like, have to actually pay for it. Then I am doing that. But I love original Card Captor Sakura. Really good. I hope you will enjoy it. So it says, with the One Piece, I wouldn't survive. One Piece is the marker for humanity. Before or BOP and current or COP. I mean, eventually there will be... Well, I don't know. At a certain point, I think it'll be difficult to define after One Piece. I guess after the original story meets its end, even though there's talk about them doing like a second anime, and not like a spin-off or something, like redoing the anime.
That poor woman. Anyway, where was I? Yes.
Now, it does seem... I don't know if I finished that thought, but it seems really strange for me to think of a world where, like, not taking that key is the best thing to do.
The hope is that Miss Mantovani, with the right time, place, and people around her, will cut out the middleman, or middlewoman in this case, and have the spirit speak for itself.
Is that really possible?
Tomorrow night, the veil between worlds will be at its thinnest, and it's especially thin here, in this part of the country. Then, the hotel. It's not without its storied history, plenty of uncrossed souls in these walls. That, of course, is where the danger lies.
Danger?
Spirits aren't to be trifled with. That gets forgotten sometimes.
I really don't know if I understand the nature of this game enough. Like, does a choice like this matter? Does it matter a little? Does it matter a lot? I sort of feel like I should ask about the danger because I'm like trying to get more people to like not want to go. So like even if it doesn't persuade Darcy, it might be good to have some information I can relay to someone else and be like, yeah, it's super dangerous to do this. Maybe you don't want to do it.
Do you think he'll be in danger attending the seance?
I am putting my trust in Miss Mantovani. I don't believe she'll lead us wrong. We'll be fine, I think. So long as no one disturbs her workings.
New objective. Disturb her workings.
Perhaps I'll stand farther back from the proceedings than I initially planned.
So is magic real in this game? I'm not super clear on that. Like, my impression is, like, supernatural things definitely exist. Actual, like, practicable magic, slightly less clear, but maybe.
But I don't think I'm done with my questions, Mr. Dupre. I want to know more about your practice. After breakfast, would you join me for some air out front?
Is that what we're calling it? Buy me breakfast for... Oh, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. Buy me a 9 a.m. hotel breakfast first.
It would be my pleasure.
But I could have sworn I'd left my key here. Maybe I dropped it. I'm sorry, Mr. Dupre. We will have to postpone that conversation. Once we're finished here, I'll need to go to reception and ask whether anyone has turned in my key.
So if I didn't take the key, she would just go to the meeting. But, like, this game doesn't seem to have, like, a time travel mechanic, and it's really hard to know in advance if that's something I want or don't want. I don't love a game that asks you to make, like, potentially significant decisions that can't even be, like, made on an educated guess, like a pure blind guess. But maybe there's something I don't know about.
Of course, madam. I'll be in the courtyard, should you find time to join me.
Should make a new save for the reason that maybe I would need to load that and like not take the key or something. I think I might call the stream here because like the way progress happens in this game can be extremely slow, and this is like a decent stopping point, I think, where we just had our very realistic 9 a.m. breakfast that everybody loves. No, you know what? Let's put it on low. A little ambient spookage. Just a little bit. Zakula, what do you think would happen to your hotel if you had to have a 9 a.m. breakfast? Would just like everyone like completely like lose their sanity? You would just become like a Cthulian cult or something? Haga says, we're 2 hours in, good going. Also about as far as I got before getting distracted with another game. I mean, I'll say this about this game. I'm not totally sold on it. It's not like a hard pass like Chicken Police ended up being, where it was just sort of like nothing happened, and what the game sort of presented in lieu of something happening like wasn't resonating with me. I was not enjoying it. There's definitely a tension between what this game is going for and like what I tend to like as a video game player. The story is definitely interesting. The characters so far aren't all that interesting. It might be mechanics. Too mechanics heavy for its own good. I think I like the way you put that, because I definitely think there's a real risk of that. Like, the trick is that, like, I don't think there's a lot of benefit to the player to being aware of all these mechanics. I think the game functions just fine as it is, but like, I don't think I need to know like all these random individual things. I definitely think there's too many characters. Like, I for sure think a game like this benefits from like introducing small groups of characters in organic settings instead of like doing like a grade school class like roll call for like all of the characters all at once and knowing like nothing of interest about them. Like, I really didn't like the way that was done. Like, it doesn't necessarily like hinder the gameplay, but like it made that scene basically feel useless to me because it's like, I know I'm not gonna get all of this, and like everyone's just like randomly saying stuff that like could be attributed to basically anyone. It says, made it to my hotel room and kind of put it down. Okay, so then let me ask you this, those of you who have stayed with it. How do we feel about streaming more of this? Do we feel better about moving on to something else? Are we interested enough to like try more of this? Because like I'm like really on the fence myself. I'm not like absolutely against it, but if people aren't interested, like I'm totally happy to move on. Zachula says, starving, so I'm gonna split early. Well, see, you're starving, Zachula, because you didn't have your 9 a.m. breakfast. Secret Squirrel guess is behind the lobster crab thing on the top shelf because it's been kind to me in the past. Okay. Wait, hang on, I have thoughts on this. Also, okay. Hope it picks up, but if it doesn't, I'd be okay with moving on. Give it one more go. Okay, that honestly, that was like roughly my impression. Was like, I think like I would probably try like one more stream if no one said anything, and then like see. But I'll also offer this: if like we find it like really starts dragging in the second stream, we can like, I don't know. It's got to be something on my computer we can play more of. But Zachula says, depends on what's on the docket after this. Depending on that, I think it would be worth one more to see how it feels. Yeah, I mean, Balatro is like a really easy one. Also, like, Balatro is like a much easier game to like talk during. This is a very like talking heavy game. Dwarf-romantic, always possible. Hard pivot to Life is Strange. Sarah, who hurt you? We're only like a few days into the new year. Even counting the fact that it's like after midnight. Doesn't your sister play that a lot? Dwarf-romantic? I definitely think I've played more stream hours of Dwarf-romantic Lifetime than my sister, but she also has played it, yes. God, I hate Life is Strange. You and me both, Zachula. Raincoat DLC. Demolition, who is the person who hurt Sarah and then, like, burned your house down? Balatro. I think my sister's done, like, 1 or 2 Balatro streams total. I think. Like, I'm pretty sure she's played it on stream before. I think. Anyway, good night to you, Zachula. I hope you enjoy 9 a.m. breakfast and all the things it entails. For the rest of you, we will be concluding the stream shortly, and I think we will try some more Séance of Blake Manor tomorrow. I'll also say this about the Séance of Blake Manor. I feel like it's a very different game than its trailer lets on, which, like, isn't inherently problematic, but in this case, like, the trailer sort of lets on a tense, exciting mystery where, like, there's danger around every corner, and, like, who knows if the magic is real and whatever. But, like, the reality of the game is, like, a lot of just, like, looking through people's drawers for paperwork and then, like, being confused as to, like, how the game wants you to mechanically tell someone that you looked at their paperwork. And we could do not for broadcast, maybe. I don't actually know if that game is like suitable for Twitch. I think it is. I don't think it's like super weird. I think it's just like a commentary on like broadcast television. It's a game that like Cotillion had like pointed out to me a while ago. That is a full motion video game that Demolition gifted me for Christmas. It's right there in the name. Yeah, but like game titles can be misleading because there's a game called There Is No Game, but it is a game. But yes, in order to conclude the stream, we must locate the secret Squirtles. Somewhere amongst the various friends on display in this room, I have hidden some number of Squirtles. Locating a Squirtle this way is an omen of good luck for you in the days to come. I encourage you to look around and see where you think a Squirtle might be hiding, and make your guess known so that we may reveal where the Squirtles exist. Is it weird? It's honestly been a long time since I looked at it. I don't remember what it was last year that made me put it on my wish list. It was something I was interested in playing. I just don't specifically remember why, after like not having it on my wish list for many years, I was like, you know what? I should put it on my wish list. Okay, so got guesses of Carlos. Got Rowlet and Pikachu. Captain Carlos. Ah, good. I'm glad that you can tell that there's a little pirate hat on Carlos. You know the one. You know the little pirate hat. Any other guesses? Of course, there is always time to try and get them in at the last minute, and I will reveal what I can. So I guess we'll start here so I don't have to get up. This is Holiday Rowlet. He's a little keychain guy. He's got a little, like, Ebenezer Scrooge hat on him. He lives in a wreath. He's a lovely little gentleman. And he is, in fact, befriending a Squirtle on his occasion. A secret Squirtle. That's the one I got from the holiday market back in December. We had a couple guesses for Captain Carlos. Up top, up back. Squirtle there as well. Good old Captain Carlos. And there's a guest drawing attention to this new friend. Hello. This is, hang on. This is the 2024 Holiday Pikachu that they reissued last year in 2025, because it is 2026 now. He is very soft. He has like a fully made sweater on. He's very cute. He has a Christmas Staryu on him. He has a Staryu. I think his name is Minor, the like meteor guy, and a little Cleffa. So like all these star friends adorning his hat. Extremely cute, sort of like tugging up his scarf. And what else is on his scarf? It's Wooloo, everyone's favorite cheap Pokemon from the Galar region. There's just so much detail on him. He's just a little Santa guy. It's extremely cute. It was apparently extremely popular in 2024 to the point that like last year, without even like saying anything about it, Pokemon Center's like, we're just gonna release it again. It's just money. And I think it like sold out, not like immediately, but like even after it had already been like fully released for a year, it sold out like pretty quickly the second time around. My mom got this for me because I was asking for a couple of the other holiday friends, including the little Rowlet, and also the Sylveon who is sitting on top of Teddy Ursa up there. And she was like, oh, look at this Pikachu. Do you want this Pikachu? And I was like, I do. I do want that Pikachu. Also, that one has a Squirtle as well. And it's a pretty basic theme to start the year. You may already have guessed it, but in case you didn't, it was friends with hat on. So Santa Pika and Pirate Carlos and Ebenezer Scrooge Rowlet. They all got Squirtles. just in case any of you missed this new Squirtle friend. I'm really attached to this one. This is the one I got at the Christmas market. Someone just had like a crochet booth, and they had a bunch of like small Pokemon. They also had like multiple like medium-sized Flareons, which was like fascinating to me, but like I already have so many big guys. I really wanted another small Squirtle. He's very good. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first installment of the Séance of Blake Manor. I do think that this game has some problems, but we're going to give it another shot and see if those are sort of like tutorial style problems where like once we get into the game and or the story in full, maybe things pick up a little bit or become more streamlined. I don't know. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. We'll play more of this tomorrow night. I think it's just the easiest. If it picks up, great. If not, then we'll just sort of make this the weekend that we played Séance of Blake Manor and figure out what to do next. So hopefully you can join me for that tomorrow. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and remember that you are clawsome.